Switch across now, and we are on. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKRsport, we are here for the Dolphins versus the Warriors. I'm super just right on time here. The game has just kicked off in this one. I'm right on time on the basis, though, that we've obviously just come across from the New Zealand game against Belgium in the FIFA World Cup. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. This is a massive game here between second and third. Whoever wins will be in second, and obviously whoever loses... actually, do they go behind the old Chooks? I've got to update that too. I've been able to update that ladder, but they'll kick this ball down here to the Dolphins at the 10, and Selwyn Cobber's now going to bring this ball out here to the 20. So 1 second, I'm just going to update this ladder because the Roosters win last night. That's going to push them up into third position. So this is actually currently between second and fourth as we speak because of that win yesterday. Hold on, ladder, update this bad boy. I have gone and I would probably tip the Wars. I would probably tip the Dolphins on form here today, guys. I would probably have the Dolphins to win this game on form. But the Warriors, they've been very, very good this year and deserving of their spot up there in second. Fit tackle now for the Dolphins at the 45 on their own side of the field. Sorry, guys, a bit of a kerfuffle as we've just finished up that FIFA World Cup stream and we had to move across here. Ash Klein says, Iran hit the crossbar again. Peter says the Tiddly Wings is over. Time for some real sport. Yeah, look, Peter, I'm kind of off it with your last comment, just trying to take the piss for no reason. Let's ignore your stupid comment of Tiddly Wings. At the end of the day, if you don't like the sport, then don't watch it, man. I love both the sports, and just such a stupid comment at the end of that stream that was just intentionally trying to get a reaction. Third tackle here for the Warriors. They're going to be at the 40, and they'll go 6 again here for the Wars. And they'll get this ball out the back into Charles Newell-Klokstad, and Charles Newell-Klokstad's going to be at the 45. This is Tamati Martin and someone cover try scorers. Yeah, we'll see. Everyone is ruling out the Wars and taking up the Dolphins. Should never rule out or underestimate the Wars, though. I haven't ruled them out, and I haven't underestimated them at all. I know the Warriors are a very, very good team, and they definitely could go through and win this game. They're in second place for a reason. I'm just saying, form-wise, the Dolphins are currently in the better form, but I also know the Dolphins at this point of the year last year, this is when they fell off. So I truly believe that the Warriors can absolutely win this game, and I would love to see the Warriors win this game. 6 again here for the Warriors at the 30, so it's going to be first tackle here for the Wars, and they're going to be at the 25 through Tanasawa Smith at the 25 first tackle. I genuinely do know the Warriors can get this job done, and they've got a great crowd here in Suncorp Stadium right now. We all know that New Zealanders travel across well. Second tackle here, the 10. Well, not even travel across well. They just get out in numbers. They've got a large population in Southeast Queensland. Left inside Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark's going to be 4 metres away from the line. Third tackle. Oz versus Egypt is official. Okay, we'll do. That's next Saturday, 4 a.m. Tamati Martin, short ball. Kirk Gatewell. Oh, no, I think he's lost the ball. Oh, so close. So close for the Warriors, but I think Kurt Gatewell is going to lose this one. So Money Martin, Selco try scorers. Jess is what Nate said. Get on your Jess. Kurt Gatewell, Hamiso. This is great defense and a great try saver from Hamiso if he does not get this ball down. He's lost it. It's gone backwards, though. Well, no, I wouldn't say that went forwards. Like, it is backwards, and it's gone off of a Dolphins boot and then probably placed down. Probably should have been a drop out there for mine, but I do know they typically call these knock on. But I think that went backwards, to be fair. But that's a great play from Hamisa Tabuai-Fido regardless. Yeah, what a day we have. We have Manly and Melbourne. Manly and Melbourne later. We've got Cowboys and Panthers after this, and obviously now we've got this second versus fourth matchup. Warriors ball went back. I think it should have been Warriors ball. I think it should have been a dropout from the Dolphins because they put the ball down first. But they do typically call that as a knock-on. So second tackle now for the Dolphins, and they're going to be at the 33 after Thomas Flegler. And Flegler now gets away from one, and then he'll push this ball to the 45 here on third tackle. I don't know why this subscription goal thing is not showing. Oh, there we go. Now it's showing on the screen, and it's actually wrong as well. It is actually wrong as well. So fifth tackle now for the Dolphins. They're going to be the 35. Let me update that. I think it's about here. There you go. All right, so the Dolphins get the ball. 6 again. Dolphins might score. Someone Cobo. I don't know. His legs might have gone out here. This is going to be close. He puts the ball down, but his legs may go out here. They'll probably call us a try early. They will, but we're going to look at his legs. Might be a try here for the Dolphins. I've had to move betting accounts. I got a ban. Why do you get a ban, Jess? Why do you get a ban? What, because you've been too successful? Marshall King to Isakatoa. Isakatoa puts that ball up. It's going to come down here at the 15. Dallin. Oh, no, I think he is in. I think Cobbo actually is in the field of play here. Somebody Martin tries to get him down. Yeah, no, he's fine. This is a try. But Dallin Watene-Zelezniak will drop that ball, and Selwyn is able to put this one down. Yeah, he's well in. Foot out. His foot's nowhere near out. He wasn't as close as I thought it was going to be. Jakes, I reckon the Dolphins are due for a loss, but I still reckon they'll win. I don't mind that thought process. Again, I think the Dolphins' form has been the better. This could be a dire day for the Kiwis. It could be a rough one, Brenton, but it's only been 6 minutes here, so let's not give up hope just too much just yet. Let's not give up on the old hope too much just yet here with the old Warriors. It is only 6 minutes in here. Just send the bookies, bro. It's exactly right. Yes, making too much. It's actually hilarious that they do that. It's like you're allowed to lose as much money as possible, but if you do what the whole purpose of gambling is, they will ban you for making too much money. It's crazy. So Jermaine Asako, 1,497 points throughout his career, 175 games. He's 3 points away from getting past the 1,500 marker. He will get that today for sure. He will get that today. Can he make it within 1 point right now? This is a big kick here from the left wing. He's a very good kicker. He's off the Melbourne Storm next year. He will hit the post and miss it. So he will stay 3 points away from the 1,500. 3 points away and miss it. People can be banned for making too much. How ironic. Yes, that is true, JD. People can be banned for making too much on gambling, and it's actually quite a regular thing. It is a very, very regular thing. But 6 minutes in, and Selwyn Cobbo scores. And the Dolphins lead 4-0. Who's Aussie playing in the quals now? So, it was a roller coaster day. Most of the day we were playing Belgium, and then we were looking to play Egypt, and then it was back to playing Belgium, and then it was back to playing Egypt, and then it went to Iran briefly in the last few seconds, but then Iran's goal was chalked off, and now we're playing Egypt. So Egypt next Saturday at 4 a.m. Your time. Oh, that's going to bounce off the sideline if the Warriors will get the ball here 10 metres out from the line. Mistake after points. It's the rugby league way. The Warriors are going to go onto the attack here. And we're going to be seeing Edson go for 5 minutes here. I've got no dramas then. Yeah, no, you'll be sweet. So 7 minutes gone in the first half. We are about to see Edson go for the next 5, however. Got to watch that one, Brenton. Got to watch that one, Brenton. Get rid of Edson. Sherber up the wires, Hugo says. Good luck. The Warriors, they go to the left-hand side, and it's going to be Harris Tavita, who is 5 metres away here from the line. 5 metres out. Stowers Smith. And they'll be 10 metres away, second tackle. Now go Wade Egan out to Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark now, he's going to be 2 metres away from the line on third tackle. Try here would just be huge after giving up those points just now. Oh, quick passing, Adam Pompey. Leotawa, sorry. Was that Pompey or Leotawa? No, it is Leotawa. And they give it across now to Wade Egan, Aaron Clark, Harris DeVita gets it across to Charles Newell-Klokstad, scored 4 tries last week. Charles Newell-Klokstad will score now. No, 1 metre out from the line, fit tackle. Fit tackle. They give it out the back to Harris DeVita. Harris DeVita whacks this ball across. This is going to be a good jump in the air. Try for the wise. Jacob Laban. Tygood, you're getting domed out too. Way too early. But Jacob Laban with the try time. It is a 4-4 with a kick to come. Just got to keep an eye on the chat there, Brenton. But 4-4 here with a kick to come for the Waz from right in front. I've got under 50 points. Well, it's not looking likely for that right now, Nath. The Warriors have scored and the Dolphins have scored, and it's about to be a 6-4 lead here to the Waz. 6-4 lead to the Waz. Laban gets the ball, puts it down, bing bong. Do we say high scoring, Jess says? Right now it's looking likely, yeah. If it's a shootout... Oh, dude, if it's a shootout, you're probably backing in Dolphins. But no, you know what? I don't know. I could see the Dolphins usually start off very slow and work home strong. Right now, they're looking very similar in a way to how they operated previously, where they can just score from the start, which is not what they should be doing. Just rushed home and got the game on. Yeah, he does put that ball down there, Laban. He's sweet. He's sweet. He's okay. He's okay. 9 minutes gone here. Now 10 minutes gone here. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Warriors will take back the lead. Take back the lead. But 10 minutes gone. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new around here. And I don't know why we're still waiting here. He catches that ball cleanly. He catches the ball cleanly, coming down. He's lost it there, but he's still regained it, and then he's put the ball down. It's fine. It's a try. Try confirmed. I was going to say, that's ridiculous that we're still waiting for the confirmation. Ridiculous that we're waiting for the confirmation there. 4-4. 10 minutes in. It took him way too long to confirm that. That was an obvious try. Oh my gosh. Commentary saying, are you satisfied with that decision? Yes, it was very clearly a try. Jody says, come on to Fins. As a Storm fan, you should probably be wanting the Dolphins to lose this because you're still within technical range of them. Adam Pompey, he will get the kick. So it is 6 points to 4, 10 minutes into the game. They always review us in every angle. No, they do it with a lot of teams. Let's not go down this path. We'll always take ages reviewing Waz tries. No, they do this for a lot of teams, not all teams, but a lot of teams. This is normal. Welcome to our world. No, I will not be accepting that because I experienced that with the Titans, and I can see the teams on the lower of the table always experience that. If it's a game that is not going with an agenda that seemingly is what the NRL is wanting to push, we'll see a lot of teams have it, but you just notice it more because it happens with the Warriors, and that's your team. This is a pretty common trajectory and conversation that always comes up within Warriors circles, and I don't accept it. I will accept that you do get tough calls against you, but also it is not an individual thing. You are not the only team to get tough calls against you. Have a look at the Titans game yesterday and look at some of the calls that weren't called against us. That was awful, and we see this quite a lot. Not that I think they were good enough to win that game, but the point of the matter is there was an awful game from Todd Smith. We've seen it for the Raiders in a grand final, and we can see it for the Raiders quite a bit. There is many teams to go through it. So no, I'm not going to sit here and feed into the Warriors. Warriors are the only team hard done by, which is a narrative that tries to get spread a lot. But you do definitely have some bad calls go against you for sure. Bunny says, what a lucky as try from the Warriors. Not a lucky as try at all. Jacob Laban went up for the ball. He grabbed the ball cleanly and then he puts the ball down. It's not a lucky try. Yes, there's a little bit of a bubble there, but at the end of the day, he regathers it and puts it down before it's a knock on. So why is it lucky? Jay says, I agree it happens for the Titans too. I was just saying it often happens for the Wars, not just the Wars. Not just the Wars. And yeah, it definitely, from my opinion, it happens to the Warriors a lot more. But also, the last couple of years, you've been receiving some beneficial calls too, but they just don't get acknowledged. And a lot of the time, people will say we have to still beat the referees, and it's not necessarily the truth. When there is a hard call against you, I will agree with you, and I'll say, oh, this has been a harsh call. This isn't something that should be called at all, and it's ridiculous, and the Warriors are disadvantaged here. But unfortunately, the fans just talk a little bit. Oh, heavy foam in the air, gets the offload away to someone. Cobbo. Will he score? He maybe scores again in the corner. No, I think he's saying he's knocked this ball on. Yeah, it's going to be a knock on here. They're going to check. They're going to go to the bunker. And that's going to be a no try. Adam G's going to the bunker here for a knock on against Selwyn Cobbo. I could have worded that quite differently, to be fair. I wasn't just saying it was an individual thing, got my team. I'm not even saying that. I just think that this is a very common theme with Warriors fans. It's not just about you. I'm not just saying that towards you. You're just the one that I'm talking with at the moment. So they're onside. Herbie Farnworth is going to get up for this one, then get the offload away. Dallon's having a nightmare at the back right now. Dallon under the high ball at the back is having a nightmare. Herbie gets it there. That's just straight clean from Herbie. Herbie takes clean possession here. There's nothing wrong with it at all, unless this angle shows otherwise. Yeah, Herbie gets it. It's fine. It's clean. Clean catch. Comes down. And then he'll get offload here with a push pass to Selwyn Cobbo. And then one-on-one with Tamati Martin. This is an amazing tackle if he does prevent this. This is going to be amazing if he gets this try too, though. Tamati Martin with some significant contact here. There's no high contact. Cobbo, does he get the ball down? Does he get the ball down? No. No, that's a knock-on. No, you can't say that that's a try. You cannot tell me that's a try. You can't tell me that's a try. There is no way you can tell me this is a try. This is a knock-on. This is just straight up a knock-on here. There's no downward pressure there at all. Yeah, thank you, common sense. Commentary, you're off your head. There is no downward pressure here on this ball. That would have been a disgrace if they had called that a try. It's going to be a no try. Commentary, I cannot believe they're arguing for a try there. That is a disgrace they're arguing for that. Tiger with the $5 donation, appreciate for the donation, says that was just a legit guess on the Laban play. Bullshit. You time me out for nothing. We're not allowed to guess the plays. I disagree completely. You've called that 5 seconds before it happens. I know that you can see about 10, 15 seconds before me. So that's not true. that's not true. And Edson says, you said it too early, bro. Ruin the try for me and others. Exactly. So it's just about, just take accountability, bro. Like at the end of the day, you come back here 5 minutes later. You just don't tell us exactly what happens before we see it, 5, 10, 15 seconds later. I'm sorry, but there's no way. There's no way that you correctly predicted exactly what would happen 5 seconds before it happened when I know that you can see it probably about 10, 15 seconds before we do here on the channel. So it's going to be, you just got to accept that, bro. You just got to accept that. Fit tackle now at 33. Anyway, we move on. Why aren't the Titans on fraud alert? Lagan, don't start me on yesterday, bro. Don't start me, man. So fit tackle here. We were both awful. I'm telling you, we were both awful. But I tell you what, some of the calls in that game were just dreadful. But we were not good. We were definitely the worst team of the two. Penalty here for the Dolphins at the 20. The Bulldogs are like unwatchable at the moment. They're just unwatchable. Eek says Dolphins about to put on a show. Haven't done it so far, but it's a penalty here to the Dolphins 20 minutes out from their own line. Everyone says, you guessed Jacob Laban for a try in the air right before Blaze said it. Yeah, the timing was just... Tiger, man, everyone here can see what we're talking about. My best advice to you is move on. It was very obvious. I don't even know why you're fighting this. Like, we don't care, bro. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, listen, it's up to you, man. I've already told you. If you want to move on, great. If you don't, we'll see you in a little bit. You can go cool down for a bit. Second tackle here at the 40. Appreciate you for your donation, man, but like you've got to like. I don't understand why you're dying on this hill. I really don't understand it. Hamiso, Herbie, Farworth through the line. He'll get it off all the way. Nicarima. Oh, he might have put this ball down on the sideline. It's going to be close. This is going to be close here. They're going to call it a try. This may be a good try for Nicarima, but he also may put this ball down on the dead ball line. Oh, Isai Katoa's come off the field for the Dolphins. God bless him. We don't want to say this. He's got a really heavily strapped left leg. Yeah, good stuff, Andrew. So Nicarima, Sauer Smith coming across. This is going to be tough. I think he's going to put this ball on the line. It's going to be on the line. Oh, yeah. I knew it. I called it right. Oh, Tanner Sauer Smith has prevented a try there. This is actually a mad game right now. This is actually a mad game right now. This is going to be a no try. Tanner Sauer Smith does prevent him, and Nicarima does put the ball on the line, so it's going to be a no try here. No try. What happened to Katoa? I'm not too sure, JJ. All I saw is he was off the field, and he's obviously got his left leg heavily strapped right now. His left leg heavily strapped as we speak. But Tanner Sauer Smith, hello, son. What a tackle here. Prevents a try in the corner from Nicarima, and that's exactly what you want to be seeing here in this kind of matchup. Yeah, that's going to be well out. And that's down over the sideline. Eek says, you wouldn't believe I was honestly about to say Nicarima, I wouldn't lie. You would have been getting a timeout too, sir. Well, I won't lie too. You would have been getting a timeout as well, Eek. Braden Jones says, if Wars lose, someone will be crying themselves to sleep. If Warriors lose, it would have been an awful day for New Zealand. They lost 5-1 to Belgium and then lose this game. But I hope they win. I hope the Warriors do win. I think form-wise, the Dolphins suggest they should be winning this game. But With that being said, the Warriors are good enough to win this game. They are. Farnworth is always a menace when he plays the Wars. Jada says, what do Wars fans ever do to you? To me? He says, I can't stand the Warriors. Their fans are so annoying. I love the Wars, man. I have a massive soft spot for the Wars. Obviously, Titans are my team, and then a soft spot for the Sharkies for my mum. I'd probably say the Warriors are probably if I had a soft spot, it'd be probably in the third ranking, really. Just behind the Sharks. I don't mind the old Wars. Fit tackle at 35. Yeah, sure, their fans can get pretty full on at times, but, who doesn't? I get full on at times with the Titans. You absolutely get full on watching the Rabbitohs. I don't really have a problem with that. They're all passionate for their club. Misa will get taken out of the 10. The only thing that I'll disagree with is when they say we've always had, packed out crowds and we've always supported our team through the hard times. Well, you haven't, but you definitely have a lot of people there now who are passionately supporting the team when they are successful. But the Warriors are still a strong fan base, but they didn't always have an extremely strong fan base as they do now. With that being said, I have a soft spot for the Warriors. I like them. Peter says, do you think Katoa should be in Origin 3? Cleary moved to... Okay, Peter. I've had just about enough of your comments today. Nikhil says, really hate being the first game on a Saturday. Cleary moved to 9. That does me. That just about does me. If Warriors lose, we'll be eating noodles and Weet-Bix the next week, Islam says. Fair enough. Well, Dolphins, 26-metre gain on their set. Not a good set at all, and the Warriors will get this ball here to 15. Peter's on a happy hour. Lagan. Trust me, it's not the first. it's not the first crazy comment that we've seen from him. Before, in the New Zealand versus Belgium stream, he was trying to tell me that New Zealand have essentially had better players than Australia over the years in football. And it's crazy. It's just the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. This is football and soccer for people who don't know. So this is going to be third tackle here for Warriors at the 43. And now he's telling us that Cleary should be moved to hooker. He's moving it to hooker, Cleary. That's why I replied to him I just had better enough for you. So Mitchell Barnett going to get that offload away to Wade Egan. Quick passing. Tanner Smith is away here. Tanner Smith, what a couple of moments he's had. To the 30 on fit tackle. The Wires have a 14-wheel bandwagon for their fans in the shed. That is true. Tamani Martin. Here's Leotawa. Kicks that ball back onto the inside, and Hamisa will get it, and he'll get smashed at the 5 on first tackle. Smash at the 5. Hey, don't kick us. We ain't all bad. I've just defended you. No, I've just defended Wise fans, Braden. Tukotoro Miro says, feeling mutual. Get around you. Lagan says, knowing New South Wales, Laurie Daly would listen to Peter. Peter might be Laurie Daly's burner account. Fourth tackle now for the Dolphins, they'll be the 20. Peter is the new Benny West with those takes. Have you noticed Benny's actually been not too bad lately? He's really heavily getting behind his Dragons, but that's fair enough. That's going to go over the sideline, is it? No. Ball bounced around. Oh, Dolphins get it, but all the way back to 15. They're struggling for meters right now, the Dolphins. The Warriors are definitely on the upper hand as we speak. Fit tackle for the Dolphins. They're only going to make 19 meters on that set. It's awful. It's really, really bad. It's turn the stream off worthy. And that kick is going to go to over the sideline at 38. Warriors are going to get a great opportunity here. Great opportunity here. Benny West is not doing the conspiracies anymore. He's actually getting involved in the conversation rather than trying to rage bait, because Cleary to 9 and New Zealand football has had better players than Australian football. It's just absurd takes. It's absurd, and he knows it too. Rugby League Therapy Podcast says, back when he was third choice over this off-season. So what are you talking about? What were we talking about? Not going to lie, even though we had small odds beating Belgium today, it still sucked to lose. We are just as competitive as a country. I 100% agree. You never want to lose. But that was coming. So second tackle now for the Warriors. They're at the 45. Should be 6 again, really. But Jacob Laban, third tackle now with the 35. Wires have been the better over these last few minutes. It's good to see from Benny. Yeah, because he was getting on the thin line territory at one point. Every single time it was all about conspiracies at one moment. Fourth tackle here at the 30, and Wade Egan, he'll go to the left-hand side off to Channel Harris-Tavita. Harris-Tavita to Taintua Piki. Then on to Adam Pompey, and Adam Pompey at the 13 on fit tackle. What can you do, you was? Can you get a try and take a 2-score lead? 51-metre gain, much better than the 19, the 21 that we've been seeing from the Dolphins. Harris-Tavita puts it up. Leotawa, that's going to be taken back by Jacob Laban. Somebody Martin. Dallin, what then is the Lesniak? Dallin, what then is the Lesniak with a try for the Warriors. Dallin, what then is the Lesniak? Track time. Touchdown for the Waz. Touchdown for the Waz. Harris Davida puts it up around the 10. Jacob Laban goes up for it. Puts it back straight forward to Money Martin, and to Money Martin to Dallin. Jacob Laban's a problem for the Dolphins today. He is a problem. He's getting up for it. They push this ball back quickly to Money Martin and passes it across to Dallin. And Dallin Watene-Zelezniak will score in a corner. Did Tiger Wood predict that? Well, I don't know if he predicted that one. Brayden says, it's New Zealand, we are sore losers. Yeah, I won't disagree with that. I won't disagree with that in a lot of ways. But also, we do have a lot of intelligent and down-to-earth Warriors fans here on this channel. But there are a lot of Warriors fans. But this is everyone, mate. Like, it just comes down to the Warriors have more people to draw from. We have an entire country to draw from with Warriors fans. Whilst for, say, for Titans fans, you've only got certain factions of the Gold Coast. And for Sydney fans, of the Roosters, the Rabbitohs and whatnot, you've only got certain factions of Sydney, right? Brisbane, you've got an entire Brisbane area, but still less than the 4.5 million or 5 million population that New Zealand has. So you're just going to see it highly emphasised. So when you have a problem with Warriors fans, right, you've got to recognise that if the... Who's a quiet team? The Gold Coast Titans, or... Let's even go with a team like the Cowboys and the Knights and whatnot. If they had an entire country population of 4.5 to 5 million, I promise you they would be the exact same level. Everyone's the same. Everyone is the same. And that's going to be, wow, what a kick from Adam Pompey. It's a conversion. He's nailed it. It's 12 points to 4. 12 points to 4. Come on, Waz. Come on, Waz. Come on, Waz. People just don't understand population sizes. You have a small faction that support these teams. You have a large faction that support these teams. Isaiah Katoa might be out for the rest of the game here. That's huge. Tip definitely changes with Isaiah Katoa going off. But 12-4 to the Warriors with 20 minutes to go the first half. Guys, do me a favour, hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new around here. We've also got Cowboys-Panthers after this. And we also will have the Melbourne versus Manly massive game tonight, Brookvale. But Selwyn Cobbo is also coming out with a HIA. They've lost Isaiah Katoa. They've lost Selwyn Cobbo. Gee whiz, they're losing the game currently. So this is getting really, really nervy territory for the Redcliffe Dolphins as we speak. Really nervy territory. Andrew says, real Warriors fans have no problem losing. I agree with this. We have been there. We've been to those lows. It's the bandwagon fans that cannot handle losing. Correct. 100% agree with that. Yeah, so he puts that ball down, and then it's just an accidental... It's just the way the cover comes in there. His head goes in an awkward position into Dallin's chest, and he has to come off the field now for 15 minutes. Well, Warriors, you've got a brilliant chance now. Future of Warriors second rowers are looking scary. Laban and Halasima. Halasima's been disappointing this year for mine. Jacob Laban, I never really believed in, but he's definitely starting to come on as a player now, which is great to see. Halasima has definitely had a bit of a second-year syndrome here so far. That doesn't mean the third year is not going to come out and just have an absolute bang, but Halasima hasn't been as much of an involvement in this Warriors season as you probably would have expected, knowing that the Warriors have risen back to where they were in the first half of last year, and you would have expected that Halasima, who was a big part of the Warriors last year, would have been a huge part of that, but obviously he hasn't really been. It's more so been a team collective, which is honestly how you win competitions when you are a team rather than an individual. Tiger would get into bunnies. Look, fair enough, man. Braden says, I agree as well. Like you said, when a whole country's behind a team, it does make us crazy at times, but I love the NRL community. No, of course. Humans are humans, man. Humans are humans, second tackle. But the only issue is that, and this is a significant issue, and some Warriors fans will disagree, but you can disagree if you like. The only issue is with the fact that New Zealand is a separate country to the rest of the 16 other Australian teams. 6 again here for the Dolphins at the 50, and Molo now be first tackle at the 45 for the Dolphins. But with the fact that it is a separate country, whenever the Warriors lose, so many people will call, and this is the words that get used on bloody Instagram, racism to the Warriors, which is just ridiculous, and cheating against the Warriors. A lot of teams go through it. There's no racism involved. The Warriors, a lot of the time, will lose a game, but there's also some hard calls that happen, but it's not just you. Belief that maybe they're being hard done by because of where they're from, which is not necessarily the case. I would listen to the argument in regards to the corporate sponsors, though, which is a thing speaking about with the Telstra and the One Vodafone and all that type of stuff. But with that being said, that's the only issue I find, is that a lot of Warriors fans can't accept a loss based off of a loss, and they'll blame it based off of the referee all the time. But a lot of clubs do this. Every club does this, technically. It's just there's a lot more with us. Just comes down to the racism calls, which is just outrageous. It'll be Warriors ball here at the 10 after a knock-on from Hamiso. Justin says, well said, Andrew. Go to Warriors. Jada says, yep, that's fair on Lecker. He had such a high last week. I do know that Webby has been working on his areas improvements and think he has been quiet considering compared to last year. Lecker also had some injuries. He'll hopefully be back in a couple of weeks. Yeah, hopefully he comes back. And I had him in fantasy. I thought he was going to be huge this year, Supercoach, and unfortunately he hasn't. He's just had that little bit of second-year syndrome, which can definitely happen. But I don't think that that's going to impact him long-term as a player career-wise. And now Leotawa, third tackle here for the Warriors, and they'll be at the 40 or so. High last year, yeah. Isaiah Katoa, I don't think he's going to be back here today. That's huge for the Waz. Hoping old Herbie gets in for my fantasy. I don't have Herbie in my Supercoach draft. I wish I did, though. Harris Davuda kicks this one down here to the 25. And now Jermaine Asako, who will bring this ball to the 35 on first. So massive for the Warriors, bro. So massive for the Warriors. Shoulder injury for Katoa, I assume. Well, how about we not assume? Why don't we figure it out? Why don't we listen to hear what it is before we assume? Heavy Farnworth. Oh, Hamiso could have been away. But he ultimately gets the offload away to Ray Stone. It'll be third tackle at the 50 for the Dolphins. Third tackle at 50. I'm gutted as was hoping Katoa would come in for New South Wales too. Guys, Nathan Cleary is always going to be the 7. He's definitely not going to be the 9, that's for sure. 6 again here for the Dolphins. And Schneider, he will get this ball to the 23 to the 20 on first tackle now. Dolphins, here's your chance to hit back on him. But again, now you've got Schneider and Nikorima rather than Isaiah Katoa and Nikorima. Which is going to make it a bit more difficult. Schneider didn't really work out of the Panthers. Didn't really work out of the Raiders. Now he's the Dolphins as a backup 7 and 9. Broncos really fumbled letting Herbie go. I agree. But he wanted to play fullback. This is the interesting thing. Francis Molo! Oh, 1 meter out from the line, 4 tackle. Hold on. I'll explain why in a second. Why the Broncos were never really going to be able to keep him. They go to the left. Nikorima Farnworth with the try. Herbie Farnworth with the try. Herbie Farnworth goes right on over. And it's 12 points to 8 with the kick to come. Is that he originally left the Broncos because he wanted to play fullback. Now, I think this was at around a time before Hamiso was guaranteed to be coming to the Dolphins. But then they got Hamiso, and then he couldn't play fullback, so he'd already signed the contract. Maybe I could be off on my timeline here. But Herbie Farnworth originally came to play fullback, and then they couldn't accommodate that because Hamiso was there, and now he's playing centre, which is where he was at the Broncos anyway. But he was told that he'd never play fullback for the Broncos because they had Reece Walsh. I could be incorrect here on the timeline, but I'm pretty certain. That's what happened. So Herbie Farnworth will go through, and it will be a try time. 12 points to 8 to the Waz with a kick to come for the Dolphins. Braden says, well done, Finns. That was earned. Xander says, huge try, guys. Let's go. Tally Nimo says, let's go the Dolphins. Trainer says, Herbie for the fantasy up the lad. Braden Jones, keep it a Waz, don't slip. I'm loving that Sean Johnson's actually officially on the commentary here. I am loving that he's officially on the commentary, but it's 12-8 with a kicker to come to the Dolphin. The kicker. Try streaks against the Warriors. Herbie Farnworth has the most alongside Joshua Dakar. Why would they leave Herbie open? It was a broken down defensive play. And they'll get the kick. So it is 12 points to 10 with 14 and a half minutes to go here the first half. 12 points to 10. Cole says, just chimed in. Where are they playing? What's the weather doing? Weather's fine. Weather is just a little bit cloudy, no rain. Not like it was yesterday on the Gold Coast and also Brisbane. But it's just a little bit cloudy and normal afternoon. And it's at Suncorp Stadium. Suncorp Stadium here. So the Warriors travelling away, but the big one here, most line breakers this year, including Nick Rim with number 1 on 23. But the big news for people just tuning in, Isaiah Katoa is out injured for the rest of the game for the Dolphins, and Selwyn Cobbo is currently off for the HIA. Oh, what's happened here? The ball fell off the kicking tee. And Edson says it's snowing. Yeah, it looks not going to probably snow in Brisbane. Oh, sold out crowd tonight. Oh, that's right. Jason Tamalolo's 300th game tonight for the Cowboys against the Panthers. Good luck. It's a pretty tough team to be taken on for your 300th, especially after the Panthers lost last week to the Titans. Trey says, I know it's the Dolphins and Wars, but I can't stop looking at the Titans on the top of the table. Yeah, well, you got to keep looking at them, mate. Second tackle now for the Dolphins, and they're going to be at the 20. And now Marshall King. He'll bring a ball to the 30. He's lost the ball. Oh, no. That was just the armband that was white that my brain clicked onto. So 4 tackle now for the Dolphins. They'll be at the 40 on 4 tackle. And don't forget, Cowboys Panthers after this, and then a massive Brookvale Oval game between Melbourne and Manly. That's a huge game, dude. It's just huge. It's not as big, but it's almost as big as this game. And they'll whack that one away down to the 5, where the Warriors will grab it through chance. Nick will Klokstad. And now he'll be at the 15, taken back to the 10 on first tackle. Good to see the Dolphins get a game this week after the leakage on the field last week. You need help, Mitchell. 7 says, if Dolphins missed the 8, would it be worse than Broncos missing it being 4th a couple of years ago? No. The Broncos a few years ago was probably worse. Oh, that was a while ago now. That was ages ago. That was before 2023. That was like 2022, wasn't it? 6 again here for the Warriors at the 30. They'll take that. People are still waiting for the Dolphins to collapse. That doesn't mean the Dolphins are going to collapse, but people are still waiting for it because that's what they've done every year in the second half of the season. And a loss here might remind them of that, which you don't want. That's why you just need to keep on winning. So they go to the right. Wade Egan off to Tamani Martin. Short ball to Jacob Laban. Jacob Laban's been very good today and gets some good post contact meters here at 35. 4 tackle. Wade Egan goes to the left to Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark here at the 33. Gives it across to Tamani Martin. Tamani Martin taking inside himself at the 28. And now they whack that ball up. The chase through here from Tane 12 pick. Here's a good chase through Hamiso Tane. And great take from Hamiso. Safe under the high ball. And it'll be first tackle for the Dolphins at the 10. Grant Taylor says, all teams have passionate fans who go to these games and express this to show their support for this purpose. They buy a ticket for said purpose and show it in real time as is their right. Don't hate fans. Okay, sure, that's absolutely agreed, and people can react to the games they want, but also people, again, I've said basically what you've just said here. Like, I've said this, so I don't know who you're actually replying to, because that is quite literally how I defended the Warriors just now. But also, if somebody wants to dislike a fan base for how they carry on, they absolutely can dislike that team and that fan base. And you can dislike how certain fan bases operate. Like, for example, Bulldogs fans are quite aggressive, right? And we've had some incidents at Seabus Super Stadium last night that I've heard of, mind you. But Bulldogs fans are quite aggressive. You're not going to tell me that when I've grown up with Bulldogs fans being quite aggressive, that I can't be disagreeing of Bulldogs fans just because they pay for tickets to their games. And the same thing that goes for most clubs here that have that disagreement with Bulldogs fans. It doesn't mean that we hate the Bulldogs, but it does mean that we disagree with a lot of their fans. And not all their fans are like that, but it's absolutely warranted. If you've been and seen enough footy and you know enough about certain fan bases, you know there are differences. You know there are significant differences. So when I talk about the Bulldogs having a more aggressive fan base than others, I will definitely say that. And it doesn't matter that they pay for tickets and whatnot. That's not an acceptable way to carry on at games. Right? There is a significant difference there. So Grant, whilst I've already argued the point that you've just said, it's also wrong in regards to accepting how the Bulldogs fans are just because they pay for tickets and they want to express themselves by punching a fan in the face, which is what they're known for, whether it be at Belmore over the years or whether it be at away games. My first ever instance of a aggressive moment at a rugby league game was when I was 8 years old at Suncorp Stadium and I watched the Broncos versus the Bulldogs, and I saw a Bulldogs fan who was in his 40s whack a 16-year-old Broncos fan in the face who was just celebrating his team. He turned around, just turned fan bases. But you can tell people that in regards to other instances that it is all fans, and there is a large amount of fans that do stuff that you're going to disagree with and whatnot. So no, I will bite back at that one, Grant, because you're basically telling people that it doesn't matter what fans do, they've paid for a ticket, so it's acceptable. Fuck that. If you are going to go and be aggressive at a game, regardless of what fan base you are, you will be called out, and that is not an acceptable thing, and it's not a defensible thing. So second tackle now for the Dolphins, and they're going to be at the 20. 10 minutes to go the first half here. Guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Seven says a certain group of fans, and that's not just all Bulldogs fans, but it is unfortunately predominantly Bulldogs fans. It is predominantly. It's not all Bulldogs fans, but when you're thinking about the 17 teams across the competition, they have the most instances, which is why we say predominantly. Braden said, don't feel hate here as a Wars fan. I love the open commentary and everyone is getting their say, but we accept BKR being the legend to be here each week for us. And I appreciate the support, Braden. So they're going to whack this ball down to about the 10 where Taine Tuapiki grabs it. Now he's going to bring this ball out here to the 15. If you go to games and have your say, there is nothing wrong with that. And if you're complaining about the referees, it's just an annoying thing. It doesn't mean that people are still allowed to criticize it, though. Like, this is the thing. You're basically saying that people are allowed to have their opinion because they buy a ticket, but yet people aren't allowed to have an opinion on that. You see where this gets very hypocritical. So the Warriors now, Adam Pompey, 4th tackle, now gets this ball to the 35. Brain says, indeed, people need to have respect for everyone. Exactly right. You're allowed an opinion and a say, but as soon as you start getting onto the violent level, again, I know about a lot of incidents that happened at Seabus Super Stadium. I don't give a shit that you bought a ticket. I don't give a shit that you bought a ticket. You go to a game, you watch the game and you accept the loss, or you be happy for a win, and you can rub it into the opposition. You can rub it into the fans all the time, of course. I did that. Everyone does that, but violence is never the answer, and unfortunately certain fan bases have there's more of a knack for it than others. Second tackle for the Dolphins, and they'll go to the left-hand side, and now they'll get this ball to the 35 through Fini Fubayaki. Third tackle. Trace says, yeah, I agree. Like, one time I saw a Dragons fan smile, and there isn't much to smile about there. That's also true. That is also true. That is true. And they'll go out to the left-hand side. Hamisa, nearly intercepted by Double Tennis Lesniak, but it will be a knock-on here from the Waz. Knock-on from the Waz. Addressing some serious social issues this week. Yeah, well, it's part of the game. It's part of the rugby league landscape. Everyone operates. Jenko loves a good scrap. Sam Jenkinson, there is no way. Ask him about how the Warriors game went a couple of years ago at Seabus. I got the blame for it too. I got the blame for him. Like, it's easy for me to be the target, right? But like, I got the blame for his bullshit at a Seabus game a couple of years ago. Braden's got the wires, one more try before half. Come on. All right, so 7.5 minutes to go here, and it's the Dolphins. Jermaine Sarko, he'll be at the 45. 45 metres away. They go out to the left, and now they'll be at the 40 on second tackle. How would he get the blame? Because I was the central figure with the noise, and because it's very easy to look towards me, and he was sitting next to me, it's very easy to kind of pass that blame. He didn't push it on to me, but because of his idiocy, I did get the blame for a lot of it. But it was sweet in the end. And so they go out to the right-hand side. So for people who don't know, Jenko is from New Zealand, and there's a word you guys use for like low. There's a word you guys use as an interview. He was having an argument with Kiwi fans, and I think he said that, and then they thought that it was me that said that, and I don't even know what that is. I didn't know what that is. I think I know what it is now, but I didn't even know what that was, and they were blaming me for it and trying to claim racism and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, man, I don't even know what you're talking about. You know, like I was celebrating the game, whatnot. We won that game, or we made it close in that game. I think that was the game where Mo got sent off actually 20 minutes in, and we made it a good game, and Warriors ultimately won. But yeah, he said something like that. He's from New Zealand and was using that word, and yeah, they tried to blame me for that. But again, I had no idea what that was. No idea. Warriors will get this ball here, 5 metres out. I think the word was Hori, or Hori, or something like that. So the Warriors are going to get this ball here at the 10. Diaki says, high-scoring match over 50, you think? It's going to be close. It's going to be close to that. What do you think of Mellor's suspension? Trey Horn says, as a new fan of the NRL, Johnny Knoxville just introduced me to the law of Hopawade. Oh, you haven't heard about Hopawade before? The old Hopper. Yeah, what a man. Yeah, we usually use that one joking. He was just clearly being an idiot at the moment. Yeah. So they go out to the right to Taine Tuapiki, and Taine now brings this ball to the 45 on 4 tackle. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. 12-10 the Warriors. Close game here. Good game here. They go to the left to Vaimoga, Harris Tavita, Kirk Catewell, and Kirk Catewell's going to be at the 40. No, it was definitely Hori. I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but it was definitely that word. Because again, they were saying that I was using it. I was like, I've never even heard this word before. Why would I ever say that anyway? But like, I've never even heard that word before. So Dolphins now are going to be at the 15 on first tackle. And the bunny says, come on, Dolphins. But yeah, it was that game when Mo got sent off in the 20th minute. And then it was 18-6 Warriors, 44 minutes into the game, and then we came back to 18-18, and then we just got gassed in the last 5. And it says, now that's a name they can take offense to. I don't know what you're talking about. Did he comment? I can't even see him. Who do you reckon is better the second half team? Dolphins. Dolphins typically, but I actually like the Warriors to win this now, especially with the Saikatoa out. With the Saikatoa gone, I do like the Warriors to win this game. But Dolphins would be typically a better second half team by far. By quite far. Heard he's great checking the health on other players. Really got his finger on the pulse. Yeah, no, he's got his finger on the pulse, all right. He's definitely got his finger on the pulse. So second tackle here for the Warriors. And Charles Clockside is trying to get a penalty here for a high tackle. And I think they're about to call a penalty. I'm not too sure. People would take one look at your confused expression and know you didn't say it. No. It's very easy just for people to take that target. It's an easier way to get a target as well. So it's not a high tackle. They'll also play on here. Third tackle at the 30. And it goes to the right-hand side. So, Braden, I don't have a second team, but also the Sharks would be above the Whites for my mum. Harris Tavita, quick passing. That's a knock-on here from the Warriors. And the Dolphins now are going to bring this ball. Jack Bostock to the 45 to the 40 on 0 tackle, 40 metres away. 3.5 minutes left here. Don't concede one right now. And they go to the left. And Jermaine Sarko, he'll get this ball to the 33 on first tackle. Can I get an opinion? Do you think we have a shot at beating Argentina in the round of 16? No, because they're not going to allow it because Portugal play Argentina in the quarterfinal. Get around you, Olivia. Appreciate you for supporting for 38 months. You're a legend. You are a legend. Second tackle now to Cody Nicarima. Nicarima off to Herbie Farnworth. And Herbie Farnworth steps around to the 15. Taken down to 13 metres out. Third tackle now. 3 minutes to go. Nearly lost that ball, but he's all right. Marshall King to Max Plath. Out the back to Bradley Schneider. Across the field with Sarko. And Sarko will be taken down now. 9 metres out. Fourth tackle. Forward tackle, Jack Bostock gets it across to Bradley Schneider. Schneider at the back here. Gets it off to Nicarima. Nicarima, Herbie Farmer, slow play here, and they'll just be taken down. Fifth tackle at the 5. And they'll give it across. That's an easy one to take there for Adam Pompey. That was an easy grab. And now the Warriors get a 7 tackle set. Grace's fair call, Blaze. Bit behind, tapping out. Bit behind, tapping out as a one-finger wonder. Point taken, though. Oh, no, the Warriors have lost the ball, and it's now first tackle here for the Dolphins at the 30. They go to the left-hand side here. Oh, Warriors, you're putting yourselves under so much pressure. Second tackle now at the 20. Point taken, though. Like I was being told how Broncos fans do that Trump jig. Yeah, all the time, and now it annoys me more. The saying is, ha. Yeah, it can be annoying for sure, but they're allowed to do that. You can take the piss out of it, but they're allowed to do their stupid little dance. It's not a Trump thing, by the way. They've been doing that for ages. Broncos have been doing the na for ages. Out to the right, Hamisa to Buffalo. Quick passing, Jermaine Sarko. I think he's got this. I think he's got a try here. I think he has a try here. This is going to be close, but I'm thinking he does. It's going to be a try for the Dolphins. 14 points to 12 with a kick to come. Jermaine Sarko, I think he's put this ball down. New Zealand says, that it, clowns. What are you saying? What are you saying? But that's going to be stripped there. Nicarima, that was fine. That was. It's going to be close. But Hamiso, Pompey way too far inwards. And Bostock, I just want to see this ball go down here where they haven't showed us the angle here. Is Saka. You give him an opportunity and he's just going to be able to get it. Try confirmed. He does get it down. It is a try here for the Dolphins right on half time. It's a really nice try. That's awesome on the slow-mo. How good a winger is able to get the ball down like that? So good. Oh, so good, man. It's amazing that we see this every week now. Like, we see this every week in every game now that wingers can do this. It really is amazing, bro. It really is amazing. You think Portugal will win it? Let's talk about football and football streams, man, for the most part. New Zealand Trucker says Hori doesn't mean shit. Again, I don't know, mate. This is just, I'm not too sure, man. That it wasn't. I don't even know what it really means. I don't even know what it's really meant to mean. Jake says first Panthers Warriors, now Warriors Dolphins. Patricia says let's go Dolphins. Laurie says Isaac was kryptonite. Well, here we go. So Sarko, can he get this kick? Can he get this one? He loves this kick from this sideline, and he will get the kick. He will get it, and it will be 16 points to 12 with 10 seconds to go here to first half. Right on half time, they will lead by 4. Coco says Adam Pompey a little bitch for getting screwed like that. Gee whiz. 16-12. Yeah, unfortunately, the Wars have put themselves under pressure here. Harley says Pompey's having a shocker. Yeah, he's having a rough one. That's where it says Isako is going to look nice in the Storm jersey. Yeah, no, he'll be good. He will be good. Where's the Bulldogs guy that lost $80 yesterday? I don't think he did, man. I think he was just trying to take the piss. He was just trying to get a reaction, and he got a reaction, but I also don't really care about giving reactions. Isako, who will get this ball to the 20, and that is going to be halftime. And that is going to be halftime in this game. The Warriors were leading it, but unfortunately for them, they've given it up right on the end of it, and now it is a 16-12 lead for the Dolphins. This is going to go down to the wire here, guys. Obviously, Isaka Toa is out for the rest of the game, so that will help the standards there for the Wars, but you know, they've still found a way to concede regardless, so they need to really find a way to turn this game back around going into the second half. Of the Dolphins are typically a pretty good second half team, but they've got to find a way to turn this back around, because Warriors, if you want any chance to still win that minor premiership, you must win this game here today. It is a must, and also if you lose, you will go below. No, you won't. No, you won't, actually. You won't go below the Dolphins, because it's still a 41-point swing. No, you won't, actually. That's interesting. So you will stay in second, but the Dolphins will be equal with you unless they had a big enough win. But all right, guys, let's get into the stats here at halftime. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. Let's get through it. So 16-12 to the Dolphins at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. The try scorers Selwyn Cobbo, Herbie Farnworth, and Jermaine Isako with 2 from 3 on the conversions from Isako. For the Warriors, it's Jacob Laban and Dallin Martinez-Lesniak with the 2 from 2 on the conversions from Adam Pompey. We go now to the possession. 51% possession to the Dolphins, 49% possession to the Warriors. Very, very equal there. Time of possession. 25 minutes is what you're looking for. 14 minutes and 47 seconds here for the Dolphins. 14 minutes and 6 seconds here for the Warriors. That is 28 minutes. That is now 14:49 for the Dolphins. That is 28. That is 28:55. That is essentially 29 minutes of play. Very, very healthy number there for the gameplay. Now, completion rate, 80% is what you're looking for. Anything below that's not good. Anything above that is amazing. Well, 85% of the Dolphins is very, very good. 18 from 21, it is absolutely perfection. And then 80% here for the Warriors. 16 from 20, you're very, very happy with that. You know, perfection is the reference to above 80%. They've obviously still made a couple of errors here, both teams, but they're both above 80, so you take that. Now, you go to the Dolphins, their runs, 93 runs for 807 run meters. So they are technically 123 run meters behind the 10 meters an average per run that you're looking for, but 807 from 93 is not too bad. You'd probably like to be more around that 850 marker at a minimum, but at the end of the day, it's not too bad. They're 123 off, whilst the Warriors are at 91 runs, so 2 runs less for 747. So they're a little bit further behind. They're 164, is it? They are 154. 154. No. 110. 160. 163. Long story short, they're about 160 or so meters away from the 10 meters an average per run. So the Dolphins are definitely doing more with the ball right now. Again, 2 more runs for an extra 60 meters is pretty impressive. So the Warriors, with the same amount of equal runs, would probably be on about 763 or so. Maybe around there, 760 to 763 or so, which would still be about 50 odd behind where the Dolphins are. So the Dolphins with the ball are doing more with it. Now, the post-contact meter is 240 here for the Dolphins, 231 for the Warriors. That's essentially equal. And it's basically just equal there, because you could definitely expect maybe 3 to maybe 9. No, you're not going to see a 9, but like maybe 3 to 5, 3 to 6 post-contact meters on those next two tackles. Either way, though, the Dolphins are slightly in front, but it is very, very equal. Line breaks, healthy 3 for the Dolphins, low 1 there for the Warriors. Tackle breaks, 16 for the Dolphins is average missed tackles for the Wars, whilst 9 tackle breaks for the Warriors is very good defense from the Dolphins. Average set distance, 25 metres and below is pathetic to the stream off. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic. And 50 plus is essentially perfect. 38.33 here for the Dolphins is okay. It's doing the job. It's nothing too spectacular. Same thing with the Warriors. 37.39. It's okay. Doing the job. Nothing too spectacular. They're both competing at a very similar level there. It's only 1 metre separating the two, and they're both in the same category. So it's very, very close in the average set distance. Average play the ball speed. They're both the same speed as well. 3.19 seconds below is extremely fast. 3.2 to 3.39 is fast. 3.4 to 3.59 is average. 3.6 to 3.79 is slow. And 3.8 and above is extremely slow. 3.51 seconds here for the Dolphins and 3.49 seconds for the Warriors is equal. It is just average speed, normal speed here. Now, offloads wise, 4 for the Dolphins, 3 for the Warriors. So quite low for both those teams there. But then you go to the effective tackle percentage, and it is massive here for the Dolphins. So 85% and below is awful. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker, and 90% and above is basically perfect. 92.57% here for the Dolphins is very, very good. It's essentially perfect. 187 tackles made is above the typical range of 160 to 180. 9 missed tackles is below the average of 15 to 17 by 6. So that's fantastic. And 6 ineffective tackles here is in the middle of the average of 5 to 7. So 15 bad tackles with an above average tackle made count for what you would normally expect. 92.57% is absolutely pinpoint perfection. And then you go to the Warriors at 89.27%, which is not bad. It's in the solid category. 183 tackles made is 4 less tackles made than the Dolphins. 3 above the typical range of 160 to 180. The missed tackles is 16 though, which is pretty big. That is in the average of 15 to 17, but it's a big gap from them to the Dolphins. And the ineffective tackles is 6, the same as the Dolphins there. So 22 bad tackles compared to 15. The Warriors have actually made 4 less tackles than the Dolphins, but they've had 7 more missed tackles than the Dolphins. And that's why you're seeing the 89 to 92% on the effective tackle percentage from both these teams. And then you go to the negative play. 3 and below is really good, 4 to 6 is average, and 7 above is awful in terms of errors. 5 errors for the Dolphins, 5 errors for the Warriors. They are equal in the average category. Penalties conceded, 1-0 against the Warriors. Not many penalties in this game. Ruck infringements, 3-2 against the Dolphins. That's getting up there for both these teams, but at the end of the day, it's not too bad. And then on reports, it's 1-0. This is a very, very close game. It just comes down to who wants it more in the second half. The Warriors are not as good as second half team as the Dolphins are, but the Dolphins are now without Selwyn Cobb, and they're also now without Isai Katoa. So it's going to really change up their team, but the Dolphins have also been pretty good and pretty okay, even when they've had their players injured and they've had players out in the past, right? So yeah, it's going to be very, very tough for the Dolphins to get over the line here against this Warriors team. But the Warriors have got players out themselves, but they still should realistically be getting over the line here. You still should be seeing them get realistically over the line. Where he says, Waz need to neutralise Herbie. If we give him quiet, the Dolphins will fall. Yeah, I would not necessarily disagree with that one. Eggs is the problem with New Zealanders. They blame the coach rather than the crap players. I wouldn't say that I would agree. I haven't seen many people blaming Andrew Webster. I wouldn't say that Andrew Webster's been the one copping it the most. I think that they do blame the players more often than not. Dallin cops it all the time. You can see in the chat right now that Adam Pompey is copping it right now for today's game. You know, when Tanner was going poorly last year, he copped it. When he was going well this year, obviously they loved him. You know, Chanel Harris-Tavita gets it for missing kicks occasionally. Like I've seen many a time where the players will cop it. I disagree. I think that the New Zealanders do actually blame the players more often than the coach when it comes to this New Zealand team, because I think they do love Andrew Webster. Would any Warriors fans disagree with that thought process? Or would you disagree? I'm a Kiwi and disagree. Do you disagree with me, or you disagree with Eek? Do you believe that they go for the coach, or do you believe they go for the players? I believe they go for the players. Well, from what I've seen anyway. Like, if you guys say this, then I have to trust the New Zealanders with your own fan base, but I'm pretty certain that from whenever I see criticism for the Warriors, it's usually for the players. Usually. Waz used to be a second half team. This year it seems to be the opposite. However, can't rule the Warriors out, as I'm sure Webby will have a big talk to the Waz. I was hoping we played New Zealand. That was never happening. We definitely go after the players. Well, I do. Many people criticising Andrew Webster, when at times you could definitely make the argument that Andrew Webster should be copping a little bit, you know, at times, but that doesn't mean, I still think that Andrew Webster is clearly the answer for the Warriors, and he's got the Warriors doing some good things. But yeah, no, I wouldn't be saying it's a typical process that the Warriors fans go for Andrew Webster. I will say Titans fans they clearly go for the coach all the time, and they try to avoid insulting the players, which is the wrong process and the wrong thought process to have. Who else? What other teams? You've got the Raiders typically go for the players. Storm will never go for Craig Bellamy. Raiders do go for Ricky at times, though. Give it a couple of weeks. Cowboys, Todd Payton usually cops it. For fair reason, too, though. Broncos always blame the coach. It's always the coach's problem with the Broncos. Always the problem with the coach. Dolphins don't really blame Christian Wolf, really. It's usually the players. Brayden says, we don't always blame the coach. I'd say we blame the ref more, correct. And hell yes, Webster has been a gem for us. You agree? Okay, fair enough, Payne. Someone says, go to Brisbane Dolphins. Jay says, Webster and Stacey and our CEO definitely had turned the club around and our club culture. Yeah, and that's why it's so good for me as a Titans fan seeing Matty Johns come in and try to adjust this culture because, trust me, there's some really good things that he is implementing. We spoke about it briefly on yesterday's stream. And it says, hopefully we see some of the injured Wires players back soon. Shame about forward. Yep. Shame about forward. Obviously, Fisher Harris is out and no Lofiana Khan Pereira right now. And, it's a bit of a situation. Just give me 1 second here, guys. It is half time. And I'll be back in 2 seconds. Zero just exploded because it was frozen before, because the fridge here in Da Nang in Vietnam is just bloody freeze. And then now I've just knocked over the bottle of water and everything. So having a man. But we are just waiting for the second half to get underway here. Give me some score predictions in the chat. Total Crasher says Tom Brady should have fired his wife's karate coach. What on earth are we talking about? What have I come back to? Why are we talking about Tom Brady in the chat right now? Trey Horn says, I heard Tom Brady say... I heard Tom Brady say that coaches shouldn't get fired as much because the coach gets blamed for poor play performances, which I feel more often than not comes down to the player. I would agree with his notion of coaches shouldn't get fired so much for play performances, but I will also disagree because it is his responsibility for what players he's signing. So the coaches and recruitment and CEOs and all these guys, they all come together to decide who to go forward with. So, for example, let's say you sign a player because the coach believes that he is a good player, and he agrees with the recruitment and he agrees with all these guys, it is his responsibility. Like, for example, Shane Flanagan, he was not the problem with the Dragons. He was a problem with the Dragons and a big problem with the Dragons, but he was not the problem. So he signed players like, for example, Kyle Flanagan, who's his son, fair enough, but also, there's conversation there. He also signed plenty of players over the years, which put the Dragons in the trajectory that they're on now. It continued them down a path of extreme mediocrity and below mediocrity. So you have to blame Shane Flanagan for that partly. That does not mean that it's all his fault. It was also the selection processes from recruitment, and plus also there is a lot of problems organisationally. But that doesn't mean that he gets away from that criticism, because he is a part of the reason. He is a part of the reason why the Dragons have gone down this path. He's not the problem, but he is a problem. He was a problem. And Josh Kerr may be a top one signing of all time. For example, Mitchell, Josh Kerr is a great example there. Who's another one? Like, Shane Flanagan wasn't the one signing these guys coming in for next year, but who's another one that Shane? I don't want to pick on Shane here, but it's just a great example right now. A great signing from Des for the Titans though was Curtis Moran, because he was signed under Desi. I'm pretty certain. Was Curtis Moran signed under Desi, or was it post Desi? I can't remember. But it was a great signing regardless. I don't know who made the decision. Can't remember if it was Des or if it was Hannah. I think it was more so Des though. Aiden says Dolphins 32, Warriors 20. Aiden says, yeah, we know you keep freezing. I keep freezing? Do I keep freezing for everybody here? Let me know in the chat. Do we keep freezing on the stream? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I'm looking at it right now. I'm just trying to see. Just trying to see if I'm freezing at all. It doesn't look like it on my end, but some people have problems. Most people don't, but sometimes. Francis Moller, another stud. Francis Moller, what a stud of a player. All right, so the Warriors will kick this one off. Your mic goes out randomly. My microphone goes out randomly. Only the mic cuts out. Or maybe because that one in ages. It can't be this. It can't be this. So maybe it's because I keep hitting it with my leg or something like that. Because it's a good microphone. Obviously, we bought it recently. There should be nothing wrong with the microphone. But it must be because if I do this, hold on, if I do this. Yeah, so if I move it around, if I hit it with my leg, that's when it cuts out. Yeah. That's when it cuts out. It's fine. Mike went out just before you went off. Fair enough. Yeah, just like now. No, but I did that deliberately, Braden. Yeah, because I deliberately moved my leg across to move the cord, but now I get it. So I'm going to make sure not to touch it. But Charles will clock stab with the ball, and he'll get this off to Taintua Picky, and Taintua Picky nearly gets away with a 20 on first tackle. Chaz says, how's it BKRsport? Boys, hang in there. Warriors get it done. It's only a 4-point game. Massive game in between two top 4 teams, and Warriors, you'll stay in second, but the Dolphins, they'll go equal with you. They'll go equal with you. And they'll be third tackle for the Wires at the 35. I know I'm running 32nd behind, though. Well, fair enough. But that's probably obviously because you're watching it. You're trying to sync my commentary up with the game that you're able to watch. Fit tackle out to 45 for the Warriors. Today is such an exciting day. We've got 3 pretty good games because now I know Taumalolo's playing his 300th and it's in North Queensland. Panthers should find it tough. I do think the Panthers should win, but they should find it tough. First tackle now for the Dolphins, and they'll be 10 metres out from their own line. Pin says, do you like the golden point in NRL? I feel like 5-minute halves isn't long enough, though, in saying that they rarely is ever a draw. I wouldn't change it, but if you could have to say, what is it? I think that a golden point is okay. I think they've got the perfect situation right now. I prefer the regular season being a golden point, and then in the finals, which is what they have now, it's extra time where the first 5 minutes and the second 5 minutes is all. Oh, he's lost the ball there. Yeah, he's lost the ball. Well, Jacob Laban is having a big game here, by the way. Jacob Laban forces the goal from the ball out from someone cover, who is back, by the way. He successfully passes HIA. But I think it's great for in the regular season to have a golden point. It's fine. But in finals, you do need that extra time. And if it's tied at the end of extra time, then it goes to golden point. So it's more than 10 minutes. But I can see why people criticize golden point. However, I prefer it in regular season. I do. I do prefer it in regular season here. Would anyone disagree? So Warriors get the scrum feed here 30 metres away from the Dolphins line. We need your 13 plus, boys. Let's go. I don't know about 13 plus here, but the Warriors, they're on here. They're 25 metres away from the line on first tackle. Edson says, if the game goes to Golden Point, everyone should do a milk mile, and last one to vomit wins the game. Yeah, you need serious help. But then again, you're a Broncos fan, so that makes sense. So it'll be Leotawa for the Wars. He's going to be 8 metres out. He'll be fun with going for the strip. Can't get it, though. They give it across to Wade Egan. Wade Egan taken down in a great tackle from Marshall King. Otherwise, he was right on through. I would argue 6 again there. Marshall King hasn't rolled away quick enough, but they didn't call it. Vaimalga, Tamani Martin to Kirk Catewell. And Kirk Catewell... Oh, risky nearly knock on there, but it'll be Wars ball still 6 metres out, 4 tackle. Wade Egan shapes right, goes right. Vaimalga back in the middle. Vaimalga pump those legs, big boy. 2 metres out from the line, fit tackle. And now Wade Egan, he'll get out the back to Tamani Martin. Tamani Martin, oh no, that was bad from the Wars. And it'll be a knock on here from the Warriors. Dolphins will get the ball out at the 10. That was a bad pass. I don't know if I don't think he knew what he was doing there, Tamani Martin. It was like he didn't know whether to go short or to go at the back, and it turned into the middle. I love Golden Point. It makes the game a lot more exciting. Survival of the fittest. I agree, Justin, in regular season, but in finals, I do feel like it just becomes a field goal shootout. I don't care about a field goal shootout in the regular season, but when you're coming to knockouts and you're coming to finals, I do think that 10 minutes is fair. And then if it's still tied after 10 minutes, then that's when we go to Golden Point. Jay says, thought it was just my phone going in and out with the sound, but no, it wasn't. It was 1 second. Hamisa right through the line here. He gets the offload away. They're moving and grooving. Happy farm to someone Cobo. No, not someone Cobo. That's Corneli Lemuelu down the left wing. He's on the left-hand side. They couldn't get it to him. And Corneli Lemuelu, that was a really difficult tongue twister just then. 4 tackle for the Dolphins. Hamiso to Nicarima. He gives it across now to Bradley Schneider. And Schneider, close obstruction. I wouldn't nearly would have... No, they probably would have allowed that try. Fit tackle at the 10. Fit tackle at the 10. 80-metre gain here. Nicarima. Short ball. Lemuelu. I think that's knocked back here for the Dolphins. I don't think this was touched by Dallin. Yeah, knocked back off Dolphins. I wouldn't challenge this. Herbie says he wants to challenge it for a touch, though. They are going to challenge it. Okay. I thought Herbie just knocked his back, but we'll see. Dana White would change Golden Point to a run-it challenge like his slap fighting up in the CTE. Is slap fighting growing? Like, is that slap thing growing at all, or? I just think it's such a that's a barbaric sport. The slap contest thing is quite barbaric to me. Oh, I think this could just be a knock on from Herbie though into Dallin. I don't know. Like Herbie definitely hits it with his right hand, but does it touch Dallin? I don't think you can convincingly say that this touches Dallin. Well, Herbie touches it first. If it goes into Dallin, then it's off of Herbie first. Yeah, but... No way. I would say that touched Herbie's hands first into a knock-on from Dallin. I disagree with that one. Challenge successful. I would have said that touched Herbie far, especially considering you can't guarantee to me that touches Dallin's hands first. And the original call on the field was that it was touched by the Dolphins and not even touched by the Warriors. And now you're saying that it was touched first by the Dolphins, it was touched first by the Warriors, and to knock on into Herbie Farnworth. I definitely don't think there was enough evidence to overturn the call in the sense of it was a knock on from Dallin first. I thought that was off of Herbie Farnworth first. Anyway, Dolphins second tackle, 5 metres away from the line. And 6 again. They go to the left. Bradley Schneider. Arguably forward pass there. Yeah, it's a forward pass. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie, baby. Ball don't lie. It's a forward pass there from the Dolphins. Ball don't lie. I think that is a ball don't lie moment for the fact that they call that as a knock-on from the Wars. Pin says, do you think the crowds for the Wars are because they're winning? Yes, similar to the Dogs. Dogs are very similar. If the Wars weren't winning, I feel there wouldn't be a crowd. Seems risky to me to have a second New Zealand team. No, they would still have a crowd. It just wouldn't be as strong. Warriors fans will utilise 2024 when they had a poor year to counteract my statement here. But that was also in the middle of 2 successful years relatively. And now they are successful now. But also post-COVID, we've seen crowds rise, and we are seeing the ongoing and active death of Super Rugby. Not necessarily international rugby, but Super Rugby for sure. And they're going to have to renovate that and completely retinker with that. And we're seeing, obviously, the Warriors' success carrying through. I think that from the future, that from now onwards, we could probably make the argument that the Warriors crowds will stay the same. But previously, you were right, and the Warriors did struggle for crowds beforehand. And when they weren't good, people would call them the Auckland Warriors to separate them from New Zealand. And now they've got the South. I think the South Island team is an amazing idea. I think it's amazing. Rex says, any Ashley Klein rants on the docket for today? Well, Ashley Klein refereed Broncos Roosters, didn't he? So he won't be here today. I don't think he's here today. Maybe tomorrow, though. Maybe tomorrow. Nikorima, short ball through the line. Lamuelu, great line break. And Nikorima's away. Nikorima taken down by Vaimalga. And he'll be taken at the 33 on third tackle. They're finding some huge little open... They're finding some open shouts down this left wing. Christian says, we jumped ship when the Broncos sunk ship. Oh, don't tell me you're about to prove me right in regards to Dolphins fans or just ex-Broncos fans. Marshall King is going to be taken down here at the 10 on 4 tackle. 10 metres out for the Dolphins. They go to the right. Then that's going to hit the grass. Jack Bostock. It's not obstruction. It's fine. It'll be fit tackle now. 13 metres away from the line. And Max Platt on fit tackle. I don't know what's happening there. It's going to be just... It's just going to come straight back here for the Warriors. That doesn't make any sense there for Max Platt. My Ashley Clark rant is the fact he's not joining the bald cult officially at the Cronulla Shiny Domes. Yeah, look, very disappointing that Ashley Klein has not officially joined up as the coaching staff of the Sharks with all their bald men. By the way, 6 line breaks to 1 Dolphins way. Yikes. Mulder's living in Queensland. We switched from Broncos to Wards. Oh, okay, fair enough. So what, you missed out on their grand final in 2020. Oh, wait, don't tell me that you were Broncos until this year when now the Warriors are going well, because the Broncos aren't going well now when they won a premiership last year. That's outrageous. Or are you saying that you missed out on the grand final last year and you changed to New Zealand a few years ago? You're not going to tell me that you've just randomly decided to support the Warriors despite the Broncos winning the premiership last year, right? Almost will be always our main team, but there definitely is a huge love for the Wars. I think if New Zealand can go and win a World Cup again, I genuinely believe that the New Zealand Rugby League team will... I don't know if it'll ever get to the same levels of the All Blacks, but I would not be surprised if you do see, because obviously Australia are the clear number one of all time. There's not even close. New Zealand are the clear number 2, but I do think that obviously you have it over the Australians when it comes to rugby union. But when it comes to rugby league, you've definitely still got that point to prove. Hamiso, left-hand side, Herbie Farmworth. Oh, Hamiso does get the ball after a great pass back from from Herbie Farmer, sorry. And now Marshall King, he'll get that ball away. And Dolphins now are going to be at the 35 on 4 tackle. 30 minutes to go here of the game, folks. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Cody Nikorima is down injured right now. God bless him. He's going to have to come off for a HIO, I think. Jack Bostock straight through the line. Jack Bostock straight through the line. No! Oh, it's actually still going to be a try. Oh my gosh, that's a try assist off of a Falcon, I think. I'm pretty certain this is a try assist off of a Falcon. It's 20-12 with a kick to come. 20-12 with a kick to come here. 30 minutes to go. I'm pretty certain the Dolphins have just got a try assist here. Off of a Falcon. Yeah, nothing wrong with Vaimalga's tackle, but he just absolutely whacks Nikorima. Another fan of the podcast here. Go Dolphins. Go PNG Chiefs. Yeah, appreciate you, Jody Sam. Wait, weren't you telling us you're a Broncos fan last night, Jody? that is an assist off of a Falcon from Tane to Biggie. Pimpin says, I think it's hard for Super Rugby because I personally think it's the B tier of rugby. Half the players are working trade during internationals and the international season runs for longer now. Super Rugby has been a schmozzle for a long time now. South African team schmozzle, Jaguares, Mine Pacifica, all this kind of stuff. And Australia is just shocking, and there's always been like a 1-tier competition. It's been ridiculous. But yeah, it is. It's unfortunate with Super Rugby. But 29 minutes to go here. Warriors, you're going to be down by 8 points. Offloads are killing us. Yep, yeah, the offloads are providing a massive old struggle here for the Warriors in this game. Massive old struggle. But there is still a long way to go here. Still a long way to go. Southeast Queensland Māoris are loyal to the source. We love both. Well, you can start loving the Titans when we become successful. How about that? Benjamin says, I support the best teams, only I'm a bandwagoner, so this season I support the Panthers. Yeah, well, I'm going to time you out because that comment makes me sick. Jermaine Sarko is going to miss the conversion and it will stay an 8-point game. You will be receiving a timeout, and I do not regret it whatsoever. Yoga is my opinion. 90% of performance errors are coaching and management error. 90% is crazy. 90% of performance errors are coaching and management error. So you believe that knock-ons are 90% coaching errors? You believe that a player being able to grab the ball like they do when they're 8 years old, playing in the under 9s and the under 8s and whatnot, you believe that that's the coach's issue for them not catching a ball, which is predominantly the biggest issue that people complain about. Shanti Parr says, the Finns team is so fun to watch. So if the team is strategically getting out-monstered in the game physically, I can understand why you would be blaming the coaches. If a team throws a forward pass, I believe that's on the players. If a player knocks the ball on, that's on the player. If a player gives away a high tackle, how is that on the coaches? How is that on the coaches for the player making a high tackle? Like 90% is a crazy number. I'd be happy to go with 50-50. I'd be happy to say 50-50. 90% is crazy. So the Dolphins now are going to whack this ball into the corner where Chan's nipple clocks out of the 15. He'll bring this ball out to the 20 on first tackle. Massive, massive effort and discipline required by the Wires. Let's go, boys. Long time to go here, Jazz. But yeah, it's only an 8-point difference. But the Dolphins are typically the better second half team. Shayhorn says, if the tactics are shit, it's the coach. If the player makes errors on the player. Yes, that's why I said 90% is it's a crazy number for mine. In my opinion, that's a ridiculous number. That doesn't mean that I disagree that a hefty amount is on coaching, but also 90% is crazy. 4 tackle here, and they go to the left to Mitchell Barnett, and Barnett's going to be at the 40 on fit tackle. I just don't know if I see anybody beating the Panthers this year full strength. I just don't know if I do. And Hamiso grabs it, and he'll be taken here at the 15 on first tackle. If a player plays like Adamaho did yesterday, is that on the coach then, Yoga? Yeah, you cannot blame Josh Hannay for how Adamaho was yesterday, unfortunately. No, Super Rugby. No one will care about Super Rugby, even if the Wallabies win the World Cup. No one would care about Super Rugby. I'm more of an NRL fan, but I like that we can all cheer for Australia against the world, otherwise union sucks. Yeah, exactly. They go to the right. Jack Bostock will be at the 50 on 4 tackle. Nobody in Australia would get behind rugby union domestically. Yeah, that's nobody at the play the ball, and it's going to be Kurt Capewell now who steals that ball. Okay, use it as a momentum changer. Use it as a momentum changer here, was. It's their ball at the 50, first tackle. Too bad Penrith are out of the top 8. That is true, Mitchell. That is true. Penrith are out of the top 8 right now. They are currently in third last. And Mitchell Barnett off to 35, and it'll be third tackle now. Quite game from Chance so far. Well, they haven't really been able to get him the ball out there. And now they'll be at the 25 on 4 tackle. He's 4 tackle now. They go to Vai Malga. Then to Tamati Martin. Tamati Martin, short ball to Adam Pompey. And Pompey, he'll be at the 15 on 5th tackle. Need a good kick here. Let's see if they get this kick to Laban. Is that a good game? Wow, they spread that ball really wide, really quickly. They kick this ball through for Tank to a piggy. Oh, but it's going to be Selwyn Cupper who grabs it. He read that one nicely, Selwyn. It's a nice little kick there from Vai Malga through for Tuapiki, but it does go to Colbo. Jeez, that was very, very close. And now Herbie Farnworth, he'll bring this ball to the 15 on second tackle. Milk. Oh, they're going to call a penalty here against Vai Malga. Milk. He's had a no-look kick there, really, there too, Vai Malga. That was nice. Waz needs some offloads. Waz needs something right now. It's looking a little bit just pedestrian in a lot of ways. I feel like that was a milk there from Herbie, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a penalty here to the Dolphins and Warriors. They just haven't been good enough so far. They haven't been good enough so far. The Dolphins now will beat the 45. They've got to be a bit more creative. It has been quite clear outside of that Broncos game that since Tanner's gone down, their attack hasn't been as great as it was. Pin says, if Waz finished first and made the grand final, it sucks. It's not at Eden Park, though Panthers won't be caught at a dream. Well, I think you should be just thinking about winning this game right now for the Warriors, let alone finishing first in the minor premiership race. They go out to the left, knock on here for the Dolphins, and the Warriors are going to be able to get this ball here at... What? Well, no, this is just going to be a knock-on. So Herbie Farmer is going to scroll into the post. There's no way. Adam G has said this is okay. No, he's going to the bunker. So this is the problem. Last night we saw a try taken away from the Roosters because the referee decided to not play advantage. At the very least, this has been played advantage, but also I think this is as clear a knock-on as it gets. This is pretty much as clear as a knock-on it gets here. I'm sure that was a knock-on. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. At the 30, this is 1,000,000% going to be a knock-on. 1,000,000,000%. 1,000,000% a knock-on. 1,000,000,000,000% a knock-on. No, it's not play on here because Kennelly Lemuelu, the ball goes into the leg of the Warriors player commentary. It's a knock-on. It's a 1,000,000% knock-on. Correct. Commentary. Who the hell is saying that this could have easily been play on here? Who is saying that in the commentary? Can someone tell me who's saying that? Because that's outrageous. What are you saying, bro? You can clearly see the ball come out into the legs of the Warriors player. Who said that that is probably going to be play on for a try? It's called a knock on every day of the week. I feel personally Europe loves union over league. That's because league was legal in Europe for a long time. And South Africa too. Well, it's flipped down under, I'll say French Rugby Union has been popping. French Rugby Union has been popping. Warriors still need to step up though. Yeah, they definitely do. So no try, and Warriors will get this ball here, and they'll bring this ball out here to the 30. First tackle. No, because Rugby Union is Australia grassroots level isn't as big in numbers as Rugby League. Yep, doesn't help. Oh, Dalmatines Lesniak's come off the field here injured. God bless him. Doesn't help that unions only play with the private schools. That was their problem. They went greedy at the beginning and they ruined a lot of people wanting to play union from a young age. They go to the left. Here they go. Wow, second and 40 on fourth tackle. Fourth tackle. Kirk Catewell. Oh, player's been taken out here without the ball. Kirk Catewell just got taken out without the ball just then. Why would league be banned? Google South Africa, and I think it was also Greece, maybe. Oh, that's going to be a charge down here. It's going to be claimed as play that. So it's 6 again here for the Warriors. Yeah, correct call. Tamani Martin's going to be at the 35. You need to capitalise on this moment. With 23 minutes to go, you've got to capitalise here, Warriors. Tane 12 pick it to Dimitri Vaimalga. And Vaimalga is going to run across the field. He'll get this ball to the 25 to the 20 on second tackle. You need to capitalise right now. You need to capitalise. Aaron Clark is going to be 15 metres away. Third tackle. And they give it to Mitchell Barnett. Barnett is going to be at the 5 on fourth tackle. One of the teams in the most recent Rugby League World Cup originally weren't actually allowed to train because it was illegal. Tamati Martin kicks his... No, Tamati Martin. That's the problem. That's a problem. That's a real problem kicking that ball through there. It's Dolphins ball to 5. That's a real problem. That shows to me your halfback doesn't have any idea what he's doing right now. And he's not been spectacular here. That is outrageous. What is he doing kicking that ball just then on fourth tackle, 10 metres away? Like the Dolphins had plenty of players covering that. There was nothing on just then. I don't even think the Warriors left-hand side knew that ball was coming through. Will Warbrick and Grant Anderson will be real handy right now. Yeah, now it's starting to make sense with those signings. Because no Loffy, no Grant Anderson, no Loffy, and no Dalmatines Lesniak. Yeah, Greece, it was banned till recently. Thank you, Seb. I was right. Fit tackle at the 50. And they're going to whack this ball to the 5, where Chance, Nickel Clockstad, he'll bring this ball out to the 20 on first tackle. I also feel league is much more marketable on the spectator sport over union. American football, more personality sleeps through. Union used to be probably the more free-flowing game. It's definitely not the more free-flowing game anymore. Definitely not. Leah Tower brings it to the 33. And they'll bring it out to the 40. On 4 tackle, Eddie Jeremiah Tuava. Aaron Clark, who run this ball to the 50 on fit tackle. Just not good enough right now for the Wires. 20 minutes to go here at the game, folks. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Rodder says that no idea Warriors. This is where it goes backwards. Hopefully not. Tamati Martin out of the right hand side. Jacob Laban gives it off here to Leotawa. Leotawa. Adam Poppy kicks his ball across. Here we go. Tangle Biggie. Tangle Biggie. Oh, he's going to be held up over the line. That's out. That's brutal. Oh, it was such a good play from the Warriors, and yet it's not going to come off of them. That is brutal. That was a great kick across there from Pompey out in the wing. And then Tane Tuapiki is going to catch this ball, but the Dolphins will get him. He just needs to throw this ball away now, Tane. He needs to flick the ball out of the back then immediately. I think League and Union would benefit working with each other if they stop. That's not going to work. That's not going to happen. And no way. They're directly competitive. If they stopped hating each other, both codes would benefit. No, I disagree. Players should go to either code for a year, and gain experience will help. Oh, it's going to be straight back to the Warriors here. Did they knock the ball on? We didn't even get to see that. No, I completely disagree, Pimpin. They're direct rivals. They're direct competition for viewership. They're direct competition for play styles. Yeah, the Dolphins will knock this ball on first tackle. So with Salwan Cubbo, he will lose this ball immediately here. So it is. It's going to be Warriors ball 13 minutes away. You have to take your time now. That'll never happen. They'll never happen. League and Union will not work together because they are direct rivals to each other. Out of the left. Here we go. What? Shots out of chance. Nickel Klukstad, baby. Woo-hoo! Chance with the try time for the Wires, and it's 20-16 with a kick to come. Well. Game on here, baby. It's a chance. Nickel Klukstad. Chance. Nickel Klukstad. Chance. Nickel Klukstad. Chance. Nickel Klukstad. Mitchell says, please don't do that in Origin. Yeah, no, I agree. Cover should not do that in Origin, Mitchell. But a try time here for the Wires. Try time here for the Wires. Not bad. With always. Plenty of time left here. 19 minutes left to go of the game. And it is 20-16 with a kick to come to the Warriors. How would that help? No, it's just not right. They're direct rivals to each other. Try time, bing bong, mada boosh. Exactly right, Brocky. Warriors, here is your chance, son. Here is your chance. So who on my commentary team is screaming when the Wires scored? Who on my commentary team is screaming when the Wires scored? What are you saying? Joseph says they're not as good as the Panthers. That's a bold call after they lost to the Titans last week. But like, no shit, Sherlock. Why are you coming in here saying that? Like, what's the point of insulting the Warriors in a game against the Dolphins when, if you're a Panthers fan, like, why do you give a shit? Like, you lost to the Titans last week. Maybe focus on beating the Cowboys later on today than thinking about what the Wires are doing. Oh, someone was screaming in the commentary when the Wires just scored. It would be Sean Johnson who was commentating right now. They get a kick. It's a 2-point game. They get a kick. It's a 2-point game. 20-18 with 18 minutes to go here. Here we go. But no, that'd be Sean Johnson. You would have heard probably screaming in the commentary, Seb, because he is obviously an ex-Warriors legend, and he's in the official commentary at the moment. Panthers ain't as good as the Titans. Look at last week in the table and scream up. I just don't understand what the purpose of him coming in to insult the Warriors is by saying the Wires and the Panthers are better. Like, okay, water found in the ocean. Like, they're in first position right now. Like, what is the whole purpose of you coming in just besides being a Muppet? There's no reason behind it besides just being a Muppet for no reason. First tackle now for the Warriors, and they'll beat the 13. Don't worry, I got your back, Warriors fans. I got your back, son. Second tackle now. And I'll be at the 20. Pimpin, so I just think players who go to Union from League get a lot of hate when they should be welcomed back. Same with players in Marky Mark, though I agree I'm wrong. So yes, they are rivals. You're not wrong. Your opinion is always fine. I just completely disagree with it based on the fact that they're both rivals. Warriors away here. Oh, Sam Healy nearly got away with a 45-4 tackle. Warriors, are you going to pump home strong now? Dolphins without Nikorima, without Isaiah Katoa. Oh, no, Nikorima is still on the field, sorry. 4 tackling at the 45, but without Isaiah Katoa, can the Warriors find a way to break through him? I thought that was 4 tackle. They put the ball in the air. Warriors. Oh, they dropped the ball. But why? Was that 4 tackle? Was that wrong on the screen? That wrong on the screen? Just then. If Penrith don't score 70, the Warriors will officially overtake the Panthers. What? If Penrith don't score 70, the Warriors will officially take over the Panthers. Okay, so Mitchell, the Tigers lost 68-0, mate. You've got to come to terms with this, Mitchell. Mitchell, I'm trying to help you out here. The Tigers lost to them 68 points to 0. Okay? Yes, that happened. It did happen, Mitchell. Did happen. It did, unfortunately, happen. Luckily, though, there was a bye for the Tigers the week on afterwards. Both the Titans and Tigers got a bye, which was really nice to see. Yeah. They needed it. They definitely needed it. They go to the right. Heavy farm work taken down to the 50 on 4 tackle. Only a 2-point game here, folks. They go to the left, and that's a forward pass. Whoa, that was a forward pass from Kinelli Lewelu. I don't recall. I do recall it, Mitchell. I was here, yes. I think, did you guys, am I incorrect here? Mitchell has got one side, I got one side. I need you guys to answer me. Did the Tigers lose 68-0 to the Panthers, or am I crazy? I might be crazy. It's a crazy score to concede. But that forward pass was from there to Timbuktu. Can someone just confirm for me whether it was 68 or 0 or 68-0 or 86-0 maybe? I don't know. So Warriors ball at 35 on their own side of the field. They've got the ascendancy right now. Can they find a way to steal this one to the death? 2-point game. It's living up to the expectations. Thank you, Justin, the human. 68-0. Yes. Ibrahim says might have been 70. Might have been 70, Mitchell. Just to confirm. Might have been 70 is what he's saying there. 15 minutes left here. 2-point game. Warriors, what are you going to do? Are you going to tell us right now that you're one of the big dogs of the competition? Or are you going to tell us right now that you're going to slip out? This is where you've got to prove it right this second. And they'll go to Yeremia Tuava, who will be at the 42 on first tackle. Not sure, Werwy, you're probably the one to be going around people telling them to... Oh, what's happening here? Oh, Cubbo needs to lose a few kegs, I reckon. Cubbo's been unbelievable this year. Cubbo's been unbelievable. I don't think anyone should be talking about the bloke losing any weight or anything like that when he's been as good as he has been. Warriors can't get the offload away. Vaimalga is at the 33. Cubbo's been incredible for Origin and for Dolphins. Out to the left-hand side, Tamani Martin, short ball. Kurt Catewell taking that at the 22. A penalty will tie this game up, by the way. They give it out to Tamani Martin, and Tamani Martin puts that ball up. Taintua Piggy chasing it through. Taintua Piggy! Oh, who's caught it? Hamiso in the end. Hamiso will get it in the end. What have they called here? There are so many players here. What's Jack Bostock doing? This could be a penalty, Warriors, to be fair. What's happened here? How has Jack Bostock ended up on top of... all this? Warriors are saying there's an escort here, which would be a penalty, which you could take for 2 and tie the game up. This is going to be interesting right now. So Tane coming through. Are they looking for an escort there? Oh. We're going to look at Max Plath here. There could be an escort. Does he... He looks at him and stops and steps back. It's a penalty. Wait, what? How was that not a secondary motion? Like, he stepped back into him and blocked him off on the run. Max Plath has quite clearly blocked the player off just then. Did I hear that incorrectly? I don't understand, though. Max Plath has quite clearly stopped and then reversed into the Warriors player. How can that not be classed as a secondary action? So it's going to be Dolphins ball here at the 10, but I don't understand how that's not classed as an escort when he's stopped and then gone back into the player. Max Plath clearly should be penalised for that. But Jack Bostock now, he's going to get this ball to the 15, to the 10, back to the 10 on first tackle. Props on the cards again for the Tigers for tomorrow. Dustin the Human says, yeah, don't know about that. Don't know about that. I don't understand how that's not a class as a penalty to the Warriors there. Dad says, always so tight, Wise versus Vins. Hasn't been more than 4 points in it in our battles. Regardless, Vins are an awesome team, man. Shit ref call, by the way. Yeah, that was a shit call. But yeah, very, very close game here. And they're going to kick this one away. Bradley Schneider from inside the 40, but it goes straight down the guts to Tane Tuapiki here, who is going to be at the 25 and now at the 30 on first tackle. As a Wise fan, I like Cobbo. He's the man. If Slater sees that, must be true. Yeah, Cobbo is a great player. He's had his really poor moments, but it's been really good to see that he's been really turning it on as a player. Like we all expected him to years ago. Never really came forward, but now he's coming forward. So third tackle. And Mitchell Barnett will bring this ball here to the 45 on fourth tackle. And they'll get this ball to the 35. Sam Healy's having a game since coming on. He's having a game since coming on. He'll be 32 metres away from the line. 12 minutes 45 to go here of the game. 55-metre gain there for the Warriors. Then a good chase through here on this kick. Tamati Martin puts that ball up high. This is a big one. Selwyn Cobbo. Nobody for the Warriors even tried to grab that ball. That's not good enough from the Warriors. No pressure there. They had plenty of time to put pressure. Tamati Martin put a really high kick up there. They should have had plenty of pressure on the player. But no pressure was made, and he got an easy grab there, Selwyn Cobbo. Second tackle now for the Dolphins. They're just in defensive mode at the moment. They're not looking to score. They're in defensive mode for sure. Third tackle for the Dolphins. And they go to Hamiso, and Hamiso is going to be at the 40 on fourth tackle. Yeah, Dalmatini-Selesnik is still out. He came off the field. I don't think he came back on. Fifth tackle. All right, so they're going to be kicked down here to the 20. Bostock coming through, but Taintua Picky grabs the ball at the 25, and it's going to be first tackle. They go out to the right off to Chance Newell-Klokstad. He'll be at the 28 on second tackle. A penalty would be huge, or a 6 again would be huge for him right now. The Warriors have definitely... So it was the first 20 or so minutes was mainly Warriors on the momentum, and then after that it's been all Dolphins until this last 10 minutes or so. They go to the right to... Oh, big hit there from Selwyn Cobbo and Leotau, but he gets the ball to the 40 on fourth tackle. Martin Selesnik is done. Ice on the hammy. Yeah. Oh, is it a hammy, is it? God bless him. And now Tanastawa Smith at the 45. And Harris to Vida. He's going to whack this ball up into the corner. Should be an easy one for Hamiso. Is an easy one for Hamiso. And he'll get this ball out to the 15 on first tackle. Warriors, you need an error. Dolphins, you just need to complete your sets right now. 10 minutes to go of the game here, folks. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 10 minutes to go. It is a 2-point game. It's going down to the wire here at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. And Lemuelu gets absolutely leveled at the 35 on his own side of the field. Nicarima gets it across to Hamiso, and Hamiso now will be at the 40 on fourth tackle. Trey says, Oz, we see a golden point. It's only a 2-pointer. It's only a 2-pointer right now. So I'll say odds is probably about 2-1. It's only the 2 points. Nicarima will put this one down. I just don't think the Wars have a 2-point field goal taker in them. I think they need to either get a penalty or a try. I don't know if anyone's got the distance on a 2-point field goal. For anyone who doesn't know, you need to kick it from outside the 40 for a 2-point field goal. I just don't know if the Warriors have the distance on them. Like a Tamati Martin or a Harris Tavita or someone like that. Adam Pompey's going to take this ball to the 50 now on third tackle. Still 9.5 minutes left here at the game. How much would the Dolphins have to win by to go on top of the Warriors? No, they can't do it today. It needed to be like dead set, like 26 points or something like that. Tamati Martin... Oh, a player taken down in the middle there. I don't know what happened there with Kurt Catewell. He's been down on the ground a lot this day, whether it be his own doing or from the Dolphins doing. Tamati Martin puts it up. Is there anyone going to put any pressure, though? Is there anyone going to put pressure on Hamiso? No one's going to put pressure on Hamiso. Kurt Catewell will miss the tackle as well, and then Hamiso taking another 20. Do you want this game enough here, Warriors? Because you're not having any pressure being put on the person receiving the kick. Hamiso's having no pressure. Selwyn Cobbo had no pressure on his kick. So many of these kicks have got no pressure following in behind it. Selwyn Cobbo out of the 35. Dolphins were never going to lose this game. Captain Dipshit says, bro, what are you talking about? Fourth tackle now at the 35. Waz 44 missed tackles, not great. That's not a great stat at all. 44 missed tackles is well above the average of 30 to 34. That's high in the air. Bostock, knock on, and Taintua Picky can't get away. Taintua Picky at the 25. Great run. The Warriors 0 tackle after the knock on from Bostock, and now they'll just run this ball out to the 35. They're making good meters already. Pimpin says, looks like the Wires are waiting for a mistake, one up with no pressure. Well, this is a huge moment now. First tackle at 35. They go right outside. They've got numbers here. Tamani Martin's away. Tamani Martin's away. The 50, the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30. Oh, he gets tripped up. He gets the off all the way. Here's a chance. Warriors. Leah Tower at the 10. First tackle here for the Warriors. I think they've just called it as a 6 again. Warriors are going to go quickly. Zero tackle for the Wires. They go out to the left-hand side. They give it off to Tamani Martin. Tamani Martin gets it across to Harris Davida. Harris Davida to Kurt Catewell. Kurt Catewell steps. He gets it across. They're going here, the Wires. Then 8 minutes out from the line. First tackle. First tackle here for the Warriors with 8 minutes to go. Oh, man. If you had got that pass earlier away on that breakaway, they actually would have scored just then. Mitchell Barnett. Now they've allowed the Dolphins to get that defense set. It was a great tap tackle. It was absolutely set because it was a try otherwise. Second tackle, 5 minutes away from the line. Mitchell Barnett, Sam Healy to Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark goes it himself. He'll be 3 minutes away from the line. Third tackle. Good scramble for the Dolphins. You're right. Sam Healy. Stowers Smith. Tamani Martin. He's going to go it himself at the 5. Yeah, good that he didn't throw that lofty pass. It would have been intercepted for sure by Asako. Sam Healy. He'll go short to Mitchell Barnett. He'll be 5 minutes out. This has been good defense from the Dolphins after the Warriors made that breakthrough. Sam Healy goes to the right to Tamani Martin. Tamani Martin, great. Oh, what the fuck was? I've got to be honest with you. That's horrific. That's horrific. And this is what's telling me that Tamani Martin, whilst he can make some big plays, he is coming up unclutch in the moment right now. Because one, he should have passed that ball earlier on that breakthrough. Herbie Farnworth gets the tap, but he should have passed that ball earlier on the breakthrough out to the right for Leah Tower, who would have scored on the 2-on-1. But also, secondly, why are you not kicking this ball through here? He's the only one creating some moments, but he also needs to find a way to be clutch in these moments here, Tamani Martin. Yeah, Plath is an absolute go. His engine is crazy. Max Plath is fantastic. Oh, knock on someone, Cobbo. Warriors ball, 25 metres out. Zero tackle. Jeez, he's made some mistakes, Cobbo. He's had some good moments and he's had some awful moments. They've had some also awful moments, but the Warriors are being invited back into the game here. 18 metres away from the line. Zero tackle. Cobbo's had some rough knock-ons here. Tualpiki. 5 metres out from the line. Third tackle. 6 minutes to go. It's a 2-point game. Tane Tualpiki, 3 metres out. They give it out to the left, Aaron Clark. Mitchell Barnett, straight through the line. Mitchell Barnett! Oh, he's held up over the line. Oh, you've got to respect the Dolphins' defense right now, though. You do. You've got to respect the Dolphins' defense. It's going to be second tackle over the Warriors, 10 metres out from the line. Jake says, I'm glad that Cobbo doesn't play like this in Origin. Yeah, you're right, Jake. I'm glad that he doesn't. He plays awesome in Origin. All right, so the Warriors, they're 5 metres away here from the line. Third tackle, 6 minutes to go of the game. Massive game here. Tamani Martin at the back. Good defense again. Tane Tualpiki gets away from a couple. And it'll be 5 metres out. Fourth tackle. Can the Warriors find their way over or can they get a penalty to tie it up and send it to extra time? They go to the left to Tamani Martin. Then off the back here to Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark into Mitchell Barnett. And Barnett's going to run this ball himself to the 5. Fifth tackle. You've got to respect the Dolphins defense at the moment, though. They're coming up trumps. Sam Healy. He'll go himself. Oh, dude! Sam Healy, the strength there. Unbelievable from Sam Healy. It's a try over the Wires, and they take the lead 22-20 with a kick to come. That is a massive try from Sam Healy. That is fucking unreal. That is unreal from Sam Healy. That strength that he just showed then is absolutely spectacular. You need to commend what Sam Healy has just done. The strength that he's shown to get over the try line just then is unbelievable. He's run for this himself. He's wrapped up there by Finni Fibiaki. He's wrapped up there by Max Plath, but he still gets it. Not Max Plath, sorry, it's Tom Flegler. And he still finds a way to get free of the tackle and puts the ball down. Fantastic stuff here from Sam Healy, who since he came on has been really, really good. He puts the ball down right next to the post. The Wires lead 22-20 with a kick to come. 4.5 minutes to go here. 4.5 minutes to go here. And don't forget, we've got Cowboys Panthers right after this, and we'll go straight into the big game, Battle of Brookvale, Manly versus Melbourne. But what a game we've got here between two teams. Second place Warriors, fourth place Dolphins. Warriors, this has not been your best game at all, but yet you still may find a way to win here. You still may find a way to win here, but there's 4 minutes to go. You have not won the game yet. Soak up as much time as you can with this conversion. Take a lead by 4. Force them to score a try. The Dolphins can score a try. They will go for the short one, but come with the man, come with the moment. Sam Healy comes off the bench and he puts a try. And the Dolphins, they might have just thrown it. Aaron Singer says, great commentating. Appreciate you, man. Get around you. Try confirmed. One Wation says, where was old mate who said that this was always a game the Warriors were going to lose? The Warriors were never going to win this game. Who was that who said that before? Warriors were never winning, as someone said. Hold on, I want to go back and have a look. Who was the pearl? Captain Dipshit said Dolphins were never going to lose this game. Fair enough, Captain Dipshit. Do you stand by your statement? So they will get the kick. And it is 24 points to 20 with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go here of the game. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Captain Dipshit, we still reckon the Dolphins were never going to lose this game. But there is still 3 minutes 50 for them to win. But this tells you that you shouldn't be talking too soon. Even if the Dolphins found a way to win, you shouldn't be talking too soon. Pin says, big moments. Dolphins will take so much for this game. Tough loss, but they need these moments. Yes, and no, they had a lot of these moments last year. They had a lot of these moments last year, but the Dolphins, they've lost Isai Katoa. I think with Isai Katoa, they probably go home with this win, but with him going out, the Warriors, they just needed to win this game. The short kick here for the Dolphins, and I think it's going to be knocked back here from the Warriors. The Dolphins ball. Oh, you're not home yet, Waz. You're not home yet. You're not home yet, Warriors. First tackle here. You've got to earn this. And this is the perfect way to do it. You have to earn your victory right now against a rampaging Dolphins attack at Suncorp Stadium with 3.5 minutes to go. It's second tackle, 30 minutes away from the line. The Dolphins with the ball. Thomas Flegler. He goes to the right-hand side of Max Plath. And Max Plath 6 again here for the Dolphins. You're going to have to earn this the hard way here, Warriors fans. First tackle for the Dolphins, 18 metres out. They go to the right-hand side of Marshall King. They get to Bradley Schneider. Hamisa Tabuai-Fido to Fini Fiuyaki. And Fini Fiuyaki is 10 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Second tackle here. They go to the left-hand side. They go up to Max Plath. Quick passing. That's going to come out here. Hits the grass. Someone Cobbo. Oh my goodness me, to fall asleep. The Warriors. Oh, Selwyn Cobbo scored. Oh, they fell asleep. The Warriors, they fell asleep. It's a tough kick from the sideline, but you'd expect Jermaine Sarko to score this one. You would expect Jermaine Asako to score this one. Cobbo, who's had an absolute nightmare of a game in multiple times, but also had a good game in other parts, has been able to score here. What happened there with the Warriors defense? They've gone completely asleep here. 24-24 with the kick to come. Still 2 minutes 50 to go here this game. This kick is to potentially win it, but there'll still be another 2 minutes 50 to go. They go to the left. Someone says, is there an obstruction? Ooh. I don't think so, but I know what you're talking about. I think that might actually be an obstruction because Herbie does stop there. But then again, I don't know. I know what you're talking about. It's actually a really difficult one to suggest. It hits the grass and then Herbie... I think it's a try. I do. I think it's a try. But we're waiting here. Try hasn't been confirmed yet. Both teams don't know how to close it out. I think this is a try. But with that being said, I can see the conversation point behind it. They haven't called it yet. We're still waiting. Adam G is in front of it. Yep, no, it's been confirmed as a try. They've said it's okay. Try confirmed. 50-50 call. No, it's probably 60-40 in regards to it being a try because it's a bit of a difficult one because Herbie Farnworth... You can't really argue that's an obstruction there. At the end of the day, he's shadowing his own ball, really. I wouldn't call that. But big kick here for Jermaine Sarko. Jay says wasn't obstruction. I wouldn't necessarily agree. I can see the conversation, but I wouldn't necessarily agree. 2 minutes 20 to go here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. 24-24 is Sarko. Can he get this kick to take the lead? He is going to curl it in. It's 26-24 to the Dolphins with 2 minutes left here of the game. Wow, I can see Isai Katoa in a what's it called? I don't even know what it's called right now. But he's got his arm in a bandage. 2 minutes to go, Warriors. You have to go for the short kick, but they fell asleep. They should have had the game won from there, but they fell asleep at the wheel, and the Dolphins will go over and score a try. What a game, though. 26-24. This is what happens when it's second versus fourth, man. Warriors, you will stay in second, but geez, you're going to have the Dolphins equal up with you. You will have the Dolphins equal with you, but gee whiz. This game is not over. The short kick here. Can the Warriors get it? Great take from Jack Bostock and Warriors. Unfortunately, that's how you do it. They've just shown you how they do it. You've got to be making that kick. You've got to be getting that grab. So the Dolphins will get this set. Warriors will get one full set here. They're going to have to go the length of the field, though. Thomas Flegler is going to be third tackle now to 50. Sling, that's the one, Cole. Don't forget, we've got Cowboys versus the Panthers right after this. A minute 38 to go here. Flakeless taking as much time as he possibly can. They go to the right to Max Plath, and Max Plath is going to be at the 38 now on 4 tackle. Wasn't there a call last night in the Roosters game like that? Escort off the ball, shadowing. Not the same. I know what you're talking about. Not the same. Hermiso, 5th tackle now, 30 metres away. I don't think the Warriors have a 2-point field goal taker in them. I think Tamati Martin will be the field goal taker, but I don't think they have a 2-point field goal in him. That's going to go up here for Bostock. Bostock catches it, and he will get taken out of the 10. So Warriors are going to go 90 metres in a minute, 5 seconds to go. 90 metres with a minute and 5 seconds to go here of this game. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. We've got a big finish coming up here. 90 metres, 1 minute on the dot to go for the Warriors. 15 metres out, first tackle. You need a breakaway. You need something. Aaron Clark gives it across here to Tamati Martin. Tamati Martin steps back onto the inside, and he'll just get taken down by Marshall King at the 20. 48 seconds to go. His second tackle. Second tackle. By the way, for the people going the over, I think it was over 50 and a half, wasn't it? It's exactly 50 at the moment. Aaron Clark to Jacob Laban, and Laban's now going to be at the 30 on third tackle. I did tip the Dolphins on the form, and that's probably what's getting them over the line right now. This has been a game between two quality teams. The Warriors, it's not been your best outfit. It's not been your best performance, but you've still made an absolute nail-biting game, which every single time Dolphins and Warriors usually is. Warriors hit the off-foot away, drop ball, Dolphins get the ball, Dolphins win the game. Dolphins win the game. With 10 seconds to go, the Dolphins will find a way. The Wars, you threw away a victory because you went to sleep after the try. Game, set, match, Kekakare. The Kekakare will get a huge win. They will get a huge win. And I tell you what, Warriors. Oh, bro, you've got to really feel heartbroken for this one because they literally led the game with a couple of minutes to go. They found a way to take the lead, and then they just allowed the ball to come to the Dolphins off of the short kickoff, and that was it. That was it, and the Warriors will find a way to lose a game that they took the lead with 3 minutes to go here. Now, the Dolphins, they're going to go up into third position. They'll be on plus 133. Plus 131 on the points differential. 131 on the points differential, yeah. And the Warriors are going to be plus 168. So you're still above the Dolphins here, Warriors. But geez, it's brutal considering the way that you've fallen away there. Because Cobbo was the one who gave up the try, essentially with the knock-on for the Warriors at the lead. But then he's the one who gets the try to put it over. Yeah, Isaiah is in a sling with his left arm. That's not good to see. That's not good to see. Friends of the King of Care had to come out of nowhere. They did. They did. A little Jet says, what Warriors? That was sick. Jadis is absolutely gutted, absolutely heartbroken. And as a worst part is, won't hear the end of this for a long time. Bloody disappointing night for our Kiwi teams. Yeah, it was disappointing night for the Kiwi teams in terms of New Zealand versus Belgium, but we expected that. Today here, though, this would be the most disappointing one because obviously you had the game won with 3 minutes to go and you found a way to give up possession and then give up a really easy try. So it wasn't that, the Dolphins were... It wasn't that the Dolphins really broke you down in the end. You actually broke the Dolphins down, and then because of that, for some reason, they just fell asleep at the wheel, and the Dolphins scored in the last few seconds of the game to win it. V-Danzo, it's a good point, but no Lecker, no RTS, no Tanner, no AKP, no Fish, no Ford, part of the boys up the Was. So I hear you, I do, the no Fish, the no Ford, the no Lecker, the no RTS and whatnot, but RTS and Tanner are out for the season, are they not? Tanner's out for the season. RTS is also out for the season, no? So you can't really, if you're thinking you're going to win a premiership this year, man, you've got to wipe those guys from the thought process now of the excuses of we didn't have these guys, because you're not going to have them for the rest of the year, right? So I will accept AKP, I'll accept Fish and Ford and Lecker. I don't believe they're long-term, season-long injuries, but Tanner and RTS, I believe, are. So if that is the case, then I think you need to take them out of the equation because you're not going to be seeing them at any point for the rest of this year. Do you understand what I'm saying there? I understand why you use them, but I'm trying to say you're not going to have them for the rest of the year, so it's not an excuse because you're not going to get them back at any stage. But you will get back guys like Lecker and Fish and Ford and AKP, and it's big without them out. But on the flip side, the Dolphins also lost Isaiah Katoa in this game. They had HIA for Selwyn Cobbett. They had HIA for Nick Arima. They've had players out themselves, and they've still found a way to win here. So I get what you're saying, but also I think we've got to commend the Dolphins for being able to find a way to win this game. And also I will say, Tamati Martin, needs to know how to come up clutch in the big moments as the halfback. He needs to find a way to come up clutch in the big moments, because I think today it was a great line break from him, but he has to pass that ball earlier to the right wing. He needs to pass that ball earlier. They would have scored, and they would have won. They probably would have won the game from there, because it probably would have been less of a frazzle moment. And there's just a couple of issues there. But look, Tamani Martin has been solid. He came up with some big plays, but he just couldn't get that clutch play from mine. I couldn't get the clutch play. Check with his next game now. Well, that's still half an hour away. I'll be live in 20 minutes. I'll be live in 20 minutes' time for the Cowboys versus the Panthers, but that game doesn't start for another 30. Mitchell says, RTS and Loffy are wingers. If you're relying on a winger to win you a game, you don't deserve to win. Well, Roger's more of a centre, but you're right. I 100% agree with you as well on that. 100% agree. And you did lose Dallin today, so you should mention that in regards to Dallin. He didn't get injured. But what a game here. Dolphins will win 26-24. Obviously, guys, we're jumping off, and we'll see you in about 20 minutes' time for the second game of the day, which is the Dolphins. Not the Dolphins. It will be the Cowboys taking on the Panthers. So, obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe for a new round tier, and I'll see you in 20 minutes' time for the next game. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.